Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the Premiership Final of the Bunnings NPC. We did just see a little bit earlier on today for the Championship, Taranaki able to get themselves the win over Otago. Now this game, it is going to be the decider. It is the last match of the Bunnings NPC, and hopefully it will be a very close one and a very high scoring one perhaps as well. We have got first in the chat from KM. Also, good evening, Master Hamish. Good evening. All as well. Go Waikato in the chat from David, and also Waikato should win. And up the Marcos in there as well. So it is going to be an interesting fixture for who is going to be able to get the win. The two favourites from the semi-finals, both Canterbury and Hawke's Bay, both got knocked out. So now it is Waikato taking on the defending champs Tasman, and they have got some unfinished business, I should say, as Waikato were able to beat Tasman in the earlier stages of the Bunnings NPC competition. So hopefully we do get a high-scoring one, like I mentioned, and hopefully you guys all enjoy the live stream. It is the first of many live streams that we are doing today. We have also got Scotland versus Japan, England versus South Africa, Wales versus Australia, and then to close it out, it is going to be New Zealand taking on France as the final game of the weekend, and hopefully that one will be just as entertaining. We have got there, hopefully Waikato wins, as well as these KM Fresh there in the chat. But at the moment, I am just very quickly going to make game up. We can see Tasman running their way out onto the field. I am excited to see what they can do in this game. They have got some very talented players. Lester Whainā-Nuku, just to name one. Also, Tawatawa Nawai out on the wing is one who should possibly be able to score himself a try in this game. But we will show the Tasman starting lineup after we do show Waikato. They have got themselves Mosisi Dawai, Liam Coombs-Fabling out on the other wing. And then another player to look out for, I would say, is D'Angelo Leula. Will be starting at 10 for this game, and he is going to be an important factor for Waikato in this one. But Lewis Coombs-Fabling, he has been scoring a lot of tries throughout this competition. I believe he is tied for the most tries with about 7 or so, but they are showing Anton Segner there. He did have a bit of a shoulder injury last week, so hopefully he will be all right for this one as well. But it is going to be a very interesting one to see whether or not we do get to see, maybe, I know that bonus points aren't a thing here, but we will probably more than likely get to see a lot of tries throughout this fixture, so hopefully it will be a very good one, and hopefully it will be high scoring as well. But nonetheless, they have made their way out onto the field. They are both looking ready for this match. Waikato, they have got to try and prove themselves here. They are at home, but they're not at home. They are at Rotorua International Stadium. The man who you cannot see behind this, New Zealand, that is just sitting there at the moment, it is going to be none other than Sam Martinga. I believe it's actually always Sam Martinga who's hiding behind that one, but Tawatawa Nawai at 14, Whainā-Nuku in the centres for this one alongside Nankerville as well, and then Mitch Hunt is going to be at 10 for this game, and that is why it is going to be a very exciting one to see which playmaker for either side will be able to make the biggest impact. But we are just getting the scoreboard up. We are getting ready to go for this game, the final of the Bunnings NPC. The competition feels like it only started a little while ago. We've had delays. We've had all sorts going on for it, but they have been able to get right through it. And that is why it is going to be a very awesome one to see. But Maka Springer off the bench, Levi Amua as well. Tasman, they've got two very strong backs. But then for Waikato, you've got Teitaro Tahuriorangi will be sitting there. Also, Fletcher Smith, Brendan Waka is another player to look out for. And at the later stages of this one as well. But hopefully you guys can still see me all right. But we have got the New Zealand national anthem that is coming up. And hello, everyone. Hey, Amish. Thanks, live stream, for a great game ahead as well, says Kevin. And who do you think wins? I believe Tasman are the favourites, but I cannot guarantee that Waikato will not be able to help themselves maybe to a win here. They are considered at home, and they are a very good side. So it is going to be a tough game for whoever is going to be able to get the win here. But hopefully, either way, it is going to be a very good one indeed. But at this stage, they are having the New Zealand national anthem. Summer Penny Female perhaps could be one of the keys in that four-pack for Waikato throughout this one. Aiden Johnson as well. They're showing all these capable players who have all played their part in getting these sides into the final with the Premiership. Like I mentioned, Taranaki, they have been able to get themselves the win. And because of that, they are the Championship Final winners. Although looking at that, thingamabob at the moment, it is missing. So I will quickly fix this and try and get this back for us so that we can see exactly what the live score is. And at this one, it seems to have disappeared, which is not good. Technical difficulties, 101, but we will be able to get that up in a very short moment, perhaps. And we are just quickly making sure that the scoreboard is going to be all good and running. But the good thing is we have still got the national anthem, so I've got plenty of time to try and fix this quickly before we get to kickoff. This is something we haven't experienced before in the other live streams. And we will go like this. And we will go like this, and hopefully now Fingers crossed. We do not want it to play up too much. There we go. We have got the scoreboard back and we are ready to go for this one as well. We have got the yellow as well from Henry Samuel. Welcome into the live stream, mate. It is great to have you here for this match. It is going to be a very exciting game between these two sides. And I just hope that it delivers as well. And RIP Sean Wainui as well in the chat from Henry Samuel. And of course, that was the biggest news you could say for all of the Bunnings NPC. Hey, howdy, hey, yo, as well. The Hamish, the George, and the Kieran. Hope you're well. 10 out of 10, hey, Hamish as well, says Katie Dixon. Welcome into the live stream. It is great to have you here for this one. I'm very excited for this match. I have no idea which way it's going to go because Tasman, they played phenomenally up against Hawke's Bay. Waikato, they played very well up against Canterbury. Both sides coming off wins in their semi-final. And now we are just waiting to see exactly how it is going to be going. But they are showing here that Waikato, they have got a very strong starting lineup. I will show them for you guys once again here. But like I mentioned, this is the first of so many games of rugby that we are going to be having today here in New Zealand and also around the world. These games are going in the middle of the night, a lot of them. But this one's a decent hour, 7:05 p.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. But that is the starting lineup for Waikato. Liam Coons-Fabling, definitely one to watch out for throughout this game. Then looking at the Tasman starting lineup for me, Lester Whainanoku, definitely one to watch out for in this game. Also, maybe I'm going to say Chirika Davita off the back of the scrum here for Tasman. I do say that quite a bit. Anytime there's a number 8, I'm like, off the back of the scrum, he's going to do well. But this game, I feel like Chirika Davita, he's really come into his own in the last couple of weeks, and he is signed for Fiji and Rotorua. So hopefully he can have a decent performance in those games as well. We have Oscar there. Hope Tasman wins, says Manuel. And also, hey, from Elliot the chat. Hi from Nathan, and hey, from KM Fresh, and also evening ma'am, from David. But now at this stage, the game is very, very close to being at the kickoff. Like they're saying, it's a nice night. And it's Rotorua International Stadium that this game has taken place. I've still got Mount Smart Stadium behind me, but I feel like the atmosphere behind it with the kind of background, it does look very nice indeed. But now at this stage, the game has been kicked off. Waikato kicking off into the hands of Quinton Strange, and the Bunnings NPC Premiership Final is now underway. Passing the ball back, it is Tuanga Fussy with the carry. They're inside of their own 22 at the moment here, Tasman. And it looks like Louis Chapman might be putting this one high unless he decides to fire this one back. No, he is going to be doing the box kick himself. And that one has gone up. And that one is going to be coming down just on the halfway line. Almost. But that has found touch. We have got Hay in the chat from KM Fresh as well. Yeah, do let me know who you guys think is going to be scoring the opening try of this game. Because at this stage, I'm going to say it will be... I'm going to say it's either going to be Liam Coons-Fabling or Lester Whainanoku. Those are the two players that are really kind of praised in the starting lineup as well. We have got their big love, everyone. Congrats to Taranaki for winning the championship. Well deserved as well. Yeah, they did end up winning it. I believe it was by 13 points, if I'm not wrong. Where's George as well, says David. I did message him a little bit earlier on, but he is working. Unfortunately, I do just see that message, which does mean that he is going to be missing for this final. But I might have him for the France versus New Zealand game tomorrow morning, possibly, depending on his working schedule, just because if it is fine weather, he is cutting grass. And if it is raining, he is normally around here, to be fair. We have, let's go the A, brother. Hope you're well as well, says Katie Dixon. That's going to be a little knock on there from Waikato. Picked up by Quinton Strange, now 40 metres out from their line here, Tasman. And the scoreboard has decided that it does not want to update itself, but I assume that is because Flash Score have not started it yet. And now 22 metres out, it is going to be now the return kick from Tongia, close to the touchline, but taken nicely by Mitch Hunt. Kicking it very high. And it is going to be just on the halfway line, taken nicely in the air there by the fullback for Waikato. And they're doing very nicely so far. It is going to be passed back now. Cortez Ratama now going for the 50-22 here for Waikato, looking for the touchline, not finding it though. And Andrew Newstub covering it. Now returns kicking fire, going just to the 22 at the moment. It's just a kicking battle, I should say. Just going back and forth. Hey, it's Jaya as well in the chat from Shelley. And also we have got the Hey Google lads on Wednesday. With your new Xbox, can we play Plants vs Zombies Battle for Naperville 23 point to 22 point as well? That's going to be the penalty to Waikato, or sorry, to Tasman there for the player. Just getting it a little bit wrong there, Mitch Jacobson. It looks like Nawai staying down. It's a bit of an injury. No, he is going to be all right. He's going to back up. Hello, buddy, as well. And you should do an unboxing stream of your Xbox as well, says it was Hate, or I believe it is Kyle, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, at this stage, the Xbox is actually already unboxed. And also we have got there, had another fake you today, says Megas Sport. They're popular at the moment, although because you made me a mod, it does mean that they probably don't work as effectively as they would like. And also we have got there, hope you're well in the chat. And also, hey, brother, how you do? Says Katie Dixon. But yeah, pretty much we have already unboxed it. George's Xbox, on the other hand, though, he is going to be getting it for Christmas. We went up to Timaru and we were able to find one, and that is going to be a video maybe on the Kiwi Lads gaming channel in a very short moment of our road trip that ended interestingly, at the very least, or it started interestingly as well. We got some weird items throughout our travels, but now at this stage, it is the penalty to Tasman, and hopefully the scoreboard is going to start seeing whether or not it is going to be behaving. Doesn't look like it is, but we will be refreshing, and hopefully that will help it out. In that regard, there we go. We have got the scoreboard now. It has updated itself. We will quickly go like this, and we will quickly go like this and like this. There we go. That one has gone into touch, and now it is going to be the situational line-out throw for Tasman just outside of the 22 now. Did you see the instant messages I sent you? I did indeed, although I have been flat out as soon as I woke up. Pretty much from that time, I've been running behind all day, so pretty much I haven't really had too much time to do much else. Flash score didn't work for the Bulls game today. You need to keep refreshing as well. Says Big Hard Sport there, and also we have got that hello lads, and also what's up, bro? Says Corbin there in the chat. Welcome into the live stream, mate. It is great to have you here now. It's going to be fine. Nuku passes it back. Driving their way forward once again here. Tasman 22 metres out from the line. Passing it back there. Louis Chapman gives it off to Rika Davita. Now looking to the right-hand side. Shalfoon with the forward pass there. And it is going to be now Waikato. We have got the scrum fee. We have got the hello lass in the chat as well. And also, can we play Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Nobleville? Unfortunately, due to the fact that the Xbox does not have a lot of storage at all, I haven't actually got room to download too many games at this stage. I've only really got Far Cry 6, Red Dead Redemption 2, and also, I believe I've got GTA and maybe about 2 more that I can't quite think of. Forza Horizon 5 as well is another one. But other than that, pretty much that's the whole storage space gone on that one today. Blaze, how you do? Hope you're well. As well, says Katie Dixon. It is going to be the scrum feed now for Waikato. And actually, at this stage, we've had a few issues with Flash Score in the past, and we didn't hesitate slacking them off as well. Says Sebastian there. Izzy Tuanga Fussy. He's going to have a big role in this front row up against Johnston. Was a very capable scrummager. At this stage, the ball has been fed in. Cortez Ratim has got this one available now for Waikato at the back of the scrum, about 22 metres out from their line. Looking to the short side, and D'Angelo Laula now will be kicking it for touch. The sun is out at the moment here at, I believe it's Rotorua International Stadium the game's being played at. It looks very nice indeed. Can we play GTA as well, says Donovan? At some stage, we will be starting up those GTA live streams again with myself and George, so perhaps we can try and get that going as well. We have got there just waiting for Michael Hooper to surprise us all with the injury. Uno reverse card tonight as well, says Big Sport, and go Waikato as well. So when you say ended interestingly, you mean in a pub drinking space as well? Not quite, but once you guys do see the video, you might be confused at how we ended up in the situation we were. It's pretty much, we went to about 6 different stores, and every store we went to, we got something completely different. And there's some weird items that do get involved. And now it's going to be Andrew Newstubb driving his way for a good run there from the number 15 for Tasman. It's a penalty to Waikato, though, for not releasing. We have got there Forza Horizon 5 is so much fun. I can play with you on Wednesday as well, says Brandon there. And also we have got there, can we see more Rugby Challenge 4 as well? Says KM Fresh. I believe we will be bringing out some more Rugby Challenge 4 very soon. My Be a Pro, I want to get that back up and running due to the fact that I haven't really ended up having too much of it in recent weeks, mainly because of the live stream strike on the main channel. It did end up halting everything just a little bit. Let's go, Brad, out of the chat for a big sport, and also that Uno reverse card, Paul Michael as well. He definitely wouldn't have wanted to be injured for this game up against Wales, but seeing the lineup that the Wallabies have got here, Tolu Latu starting, also it is going to be Pete Samu at 7, and very capable player. The back line that they've got as well, with Dalgunu returning out on that wing. I'm not completely cutting the Wallabies out of being able to get this win here. I believe the odds are very even for these two sides at the moment. And the Wallabies, if they start this match, wow, D'Angelo Laula now just running his way forward. Tackled by Tuanga Fussy just inside of the 22. Looking to the short side now. Dyer with the quick hands. Having it off to James Tucker. I believe he was able to score himself a try in that last match of the semi-final. Still driving their way forward here for the Mooloos. And the crowd is well and truly getting behind them. You can hear the cowbells ringing around the stadium at the moment. Looking to the left-hand side, not really making too many extra meters for that side. Now it is going to be Jack Lamb throwing himself for the Moana Pacifica representative this year for the Super Rugby competition, or next year, I should say. I live in the mountains as well, says Donovan there. And at this stage, it is going to be going back. Cortez Ratima looking for the wide pass instead. Now it is going to be Lula once again taking the carry. Close to getting the ball there for Tasman. Lester Whainanuk putting the pressure on, but it's going to be the penalty for the player flopping over. And I believe it was against Jacob Norris there. So because of that, it is going to be the opportunity for the 3 points early on there. A big ass Sorpt I just subscribed to you as well, says Brandon there. And also we have got the Bears and the Georges, says Katie Dixon. And didn't you know Michael Hooper actually isn't injured? He's going to be running on for Waikato after halftime as well, says David David. I tell you what, if he did end up going in that situation, it would be very impressive if he did all of a sudden show up for the Waikato. We have got their Pete Samu, who's decent, but he can't ever replace those as well. Says it was there from Sebastian. And also Crusaders to win next year. And also I'll be streaming the A-League and also the International Rugby on tonight. I was just, oh yeah, your voice, it will probably disappear. We have got there. Do you live in Auckland? I do not. I am in the South Island of New Zealand, kind of about halfway up in location. And also we have got there 5 in the chat from Ellie Hills there. And also David told you there's a reverse card I told you as well. And hey, from Hamish as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. It is great to have you here. Summer Penny Final. Not feeling too great at the moment. His boot looks like it's holding a foot that's probably in quite a bit of pain at this stage, but it is going to be D'Angelo Leula now. We'll be lining up the 3 points here for Waikato early on. 8 minutes into this game, may you survive the gauntlet as well, says Katie Dixon there. And also we have got the Reefton in the chat from Mud Dog. And the chat, and nice from KM Fresh. But D'Angelo Leula, very good with the kicking tee. Normally, I live in Hawke's Bay, says KM Fresh Gaming. Lining it up. And he has been able to get it over. So now at this stage, the score is going to be 3-0 for Waikato. And what we are going to do, possibly, because the scoreboard's not quite behaving itself, we might actually make our own, like we used to on the channel as well. We will go like this, and we will go Waikato sitting on the total of 3 points, and then Tasman at this stage are sitting on the nil. So it's a close game at this stage, but we are still very early on, and anything can happen and at the later stages, that is for sure. But we will go like that as well. So this is the scoreboard that we are basing it off. This scoreboard might end up helping itself every once in a while. And also we have got there, hey, in the chat from Shelley, although, sorry, that is Jai, and also Katie Dixon. Then 2 more league games tomorrow, like 5 hours after France versus New Zealand. So no time to rest in between. And also Nelson all the way got the best provincial team in New Zealand as well, says Nathan Sim. They are certainly capable of being able to go back-to-back wide. Cut out pass from Mitch Hunt there. Great step on the inside here for Regan Weir. Is going to be working hard out on the wing for this game. Andrew Newstub also in the team. They've got a few Sevens representatives who are in this Tasman side now. It's passing the ball back once again out the back line. Yankovic with the quick hands now. Sam Martinga on the outside. Down the wing, Tava Nawai. Just try to drive his way forward, and he is going to be dragged down 20 metres out now for Tasman, but they are right on the attack, breaking through Andrew Muck and Makaleo. Nice sidestep there from the big man. Oh, great attacking run there from Jacob Norris. 5 metres out now. Jack Lamb straight on the ball, though, and he's won the penalty for Waikato. Brilliant work there from Jack Lamb. And also 4,543 days since France have been in the All Blacks. Do you reckon France could win tonight as well? Says Hamish Spencer. I wouldn't completely take it off the table, because that's the thing. The All Blacks, if they hadn't lost that game to Ireland, I would have said that this game was the one that out of all the games would have challenged them the most. So if they do end up winning this game comfortably, I feel like that also wouldn't surprise me. So it's a tough game to predict. It is going to be 9 a.m. That one's not finding the touchline. So because of it, Tasman will once again have this ball. Mitch Hunt now looking to the short side. Sells a dummy, almost able to go straight through. Good tackle there. Cortez Ratema almost able to get that turnover penalty. Charika Davita now just throwing himself at the line. And Tasman at this stage, they're playing a physical game. Andrew Makaleo, a little bit of a loose carry. And now Jack Lamb. Oh, and ripped away, though, from Alex Nankerville. And he's got the counter-attack on now. He's had it ripped away from him. And it's a knock-on advantage for Waikato. This game going backwards and forwards. It's set up for Makaleo. And now it's going to be the scrum feed. I'm voting Waikato Chiefs take this one as well, says Kevin. And also we have got there, this would be the 3rd premiership in a row for Tasman and other Marcos, the best provincial team in recent years, though, as well. Says Sebastian, they are certainly one of those sides that when it comes to a finals game, they do very well. And I think that is something that has really benefited them in the past, because they actually finished 4th in the premiership, which I believe is a lot lower than they normally finish. But they were able to win that game up against Hawke's Bay, who were able to beat them for the Ramfurly Shield earlier on in the year. So it's all down to that importance of finals rugby. And Tasman seem to have quite a few players who handle the pressure very well. And that is so important in these matches. We have, it's got their morning, Hamish and folks as well. Says kind of going in. Welcome into the live stream, mate. You will be buzzing for the amount of rugby that we have got coming up very soon on the channel, and also just in rugby in general. Even the Fiji versus Georgia game is going to be live streamed on YouTube at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. We are going to be covering the game between England and South Africa. But before that, we have got it's Japan versus Scotland as that game as well. We also got the good morning, Katakoinen, and hope you're well, mate. And hey, Audi, hey, brother, how you doing? And also we have got the As It Worth Buying Rugby Challenge for, because I might get it for Christmas, says KM Fresh. If it's on special, I would recommend it, but I think at this stage, like the fact that it's still about $100, it's probably only worth about 60. with the amount of glitches that it has still got. And they've also said that they aren't going to be fixing any of those glitches because they're looking towards their next game. And we lost Harvili and Christie as well, says Nathan Sim. Yeah, that's the thing. A few players missing for both of these sides when it comes to New Zealand duty. Oh, Mitch Hunt almost nailed there by Mosisi Dawai. He's been able to get back to his feet. That is counted as a tackle. He has to release him. I believe it was Gideon Rappling trying to get right in there. Is it raining at the moment? I can't tell if it's raining or if it's just windy, but I can hear something in my ears. No, it's complete silence. Okay, it's just my head. But now at this stage, we have got them a glitch as well in the chat. And I'll say, okay, thanks. Says KM Fresh. That's gone high, and it's going to be taken nicely now by D'Angelo Leula. Big contact with him and Tava Nawai. And those are certainly two big bodies coming together. Jack Lamb with the step playing very well in the early stages of this game so far for the Premiership Final. Like I mentioned, Taranaki able to win that game up against Otago to become the championship winners. So they didn't lose a single game throughout the whole competition. Do not get it overall as well. Says Hamish. And also we've got there not too bad. Sebastian and Katie thought I'd like Mr. BKR Sport to explain himself as well. So he's going to go in, and also we have got there Ghosties Hex in the chat, and that's going to be a counter ruck by Waikato. Once again win the penalty for the players going over the top. Losing his footing there, I believe it was Andrew Newstub who they did penalise there. So now Waikato have the opportunity to give themselves a 6-point lead in the early stages of this one. What do they decide to do? It looks like they are going to be just taking on the points. Yes, they are. George Dyer says, we'll take the 3 more. Thank you very much, mate. D'Angelo Leula, he will be lining this one up. Normally very solid off the tee, like I mentioned, already sitting 1 from 1 tonight. This game is flying by Mitch Hunt, very close to the touchline, tries to step and spin, but Masisi Dawai all over him in the early stages. We have got there, I'm like, all the green screen, don't get me wrong, all for the green screen, but I miss Hamish's cozy living room, family room background with a window and the chairs as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, normally when I do have a guest, I will have it like that, we can see the background. I've actually got a new poster that I haven't put up yet. It is one that we bought out on our journey, me and George, while looking for his Xbox. We have got there. It's 19 degrees in Hawke's Bay, so relatively warm, with 17 degrees here as well, which is quite nice here. And also we have got there, do you think Australia can beat Wales today, says Kevin? I know that they've got the ability in the players that they have selected. It's just whether or not they show up on that game day and they can take down the Welsh side, because Wales, they are not an easy beat. Like, they had a close game with South Africa. They also were able to fight back hard and beat Fiji. That one missed there from D'Angelo Leula. So the score will remain 3-0 after 15 minutes between Waikato and Tasman as well. But they are going to be going right back to the 22 dropout now. Quinton Strange, he is going to be hoping that as Tasman side can get the win. I believe he is co-captains with Mitch Hunt, who is, I believe, someone's playing their 100th game for this match as well. So it would be a brilliant one if they were able to get themselves a win. But now it is going to be Mitch Hunt kicking high for the 22 dropout, going back towards the halfway line. Taken nicely now by the number 15 for Waikato once again. And now they are looking for maybe just a little bit of space in behind. It's going to be a good challenge in the air. Mitch Hunt takes it nicely, but straight on him. Coombs Fabling able to make the tackle. Counter ruck there from Waikato. It's popped out the back though. And Chapman now just getting wrestled to the ground. Summer Penny Final somehow. He's still in the field, but now it's stolen by Waikato. That was brilliant work. They were like sharks in the water with blood in it, and they were just all over that ruck. Now it's a little bit of a drop ball there from Balin Sullivan, and it's a knock-on. A punish. Charika Davida finds the offload now. It's a double knock-on, and it's going back. Non-leading team with first penalty goal loses the match as well, says George Down. I think Australia will win as well. Says going to go in, but marginally as well. A nice CSKM fresh, and also Quinton McDonald 100th match. Yeah, so he would absolutely love to be able to help his side get the win here for Tasman, but it was just a massive counter ruck there from Waikato. Summer Penny Final just ended up almost just ripping Chapman into touch, but somehow keeping himself in the field of play. And Winters All Blacks versus France start. That is going to be 9 a.m. It is going to be taking place, and we have got there 3-0 to who? As well as this Royal, it is 3-0 to Waikato. At this stage, Tasman still sitting on the nil. We have got there. I'm pretty confident Springboks will out again against England as well. Sees it, Kevin, and also Boom, Hamish, and the Boom, and the George, and the Billy, and the Boom as well in the chat from Sebastian. That is a hard tongue twister right there. And also, yeah, your thoughts on Rusty's ban as well. I believe at this stage he is going to contest it. So I feel like at this stage, with the fact that there is still like room for it to change, I don't want to comment too early on it. But I know that one of the kind of stipulations was until 10 months' time, he's not allowed to do any coaching, which he will definitely be missing big time. I think because they won't have Michael. They will play 687% more feral to play or try to make up for it, and yeah, we'll probably win as well, says Katie Dixon there. And does that mean 9 p.m. kickoff in France as well, says Nathan Sim. Somewhere around there, I believe it is going to be. But yeah, it is a relatively late game. There are so many matches that are taking place for international level. Like, not even talking about just these tier 1 games. There's also Chile. They are playing someone. There were about 17 or 20 games, I believe it is, that are taking place at all levels of international rugby, which is absolutely awesome for us. And I believe next weekend, if it hasn't completely been cancelled, which is still a 50-50 of whether or not it is still going to be going, it is going to be the game between Manu Samoa and the Barbarians, but then I'm not too sure whether or not that one is still going to be taking place. Bok fans are the worst. I'm sorry to any Bok fans I have offended, as I says it was Hamish, and also we have good there. I'm talking about the strength. I have to not spam these emojis, lol. I'm like a kid who just discovered what a light switch is, as I says Katie Dixon, and also we have got there Tuwamba as well. Where are you? Because I says kind of going, I think he has left. As he has got quite a few that he is going to be doing a little bit later on tonight. So perhaps just trying to rest and recover for a little bit. Nathan, I'm from France, so yeah, kick off 9 p.m. As I says, Mamba there, and also we have got there the Kieran, the Buffer, the Try, the Ball, the 10, the Billy, the George, the Hamish, the New Zealand, and the South Africa from Katie there as well. Now it is going to be the scrum feed for Tasman, and it is a big pushing in on the angle, but now Chapman passes it back, looking to the short side. It will be once again Regan Weir with the carry, dragged down by Summer Benefito, 18 minutes in, and no try scored yet between these two sides. Finals football is always just that little bit different, though. Seems to be that every move that you make could be the difference between a win and a loss, and at this stage, Chapman's decided that it is worth time to go for the box kick. Looking high into the air. It's taken beautifully by Coombs Fabling, dragged down, though, and a great tackle by Jacob Norris, trying to get on the ball. Nankerville not able to. Now passing it back once again. It is going to be the step. A lot of pressure there on Gideon Rappling. Almost stolen, but not quite on their side now. Oh, big contact there from Toanga Fasi on, I believe, it was the number 5 now, D'Angelo Laula, putting the ball back high into the 22. Taken nicely by Mitch Hunt. And he is going to be kicking this one for the touchline once again here. Not much pressure on him, and it's a good kick downfield there from Mitch Hunt as well. We have got there Hamish. The score is 3-0. As I said, Rubs, yeah, we have got the scoreboard down below because Flash Guy has decided that it doesn't like us, and also where's this guy Kieran as well, says David. I believe at this stage he is leaning up against the couch just in the background, but we will put him up in the corner as well. We will go like this, and we will go like this. There we go. We have got him back up in the corner for this one. I reckon it will be like last year's Premiership Final as well, says Nathan Simon. Also, we have got there him and I casually back and forth banter on the Rugby Down Under podcast. Then he turned sour quicker than milk on a radiator as well. There's going to go in and also up the Marco in the chat. And Ireland against Argentina going to be an epic game. Thoughts as well? Yeah, that's going to be a good one. That is only going to be, I believe, the lone game that is taking place on Monday morning, but we will be covering that one as well. And it should be a very good game. Because Argentina, they came off that win last week up against Italy. They will be hoping to prove something. But then Ireland, they are in some great form at this stage. That is sure. I think All Blacks will narrowly win against France tomorrow. As I see clubs, yeah, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a close one. I have a feeling maybe only split by about 8 points or so. But I'm excited for it. And hopefully we will still be wide awake at that stage. It is the last game that we are covering because from here on out, we are pretty much getting into the live streaming mode. We will have a few hours in between to be able to try and get ourselves kind of prepared for those later live streams, lineups, etc., and all of my little animations. But after that, we are just straight into rugby after rugby after rugby. 4 games in a row we are going to be covering. And Hamish, it's something to fill up the background. It's us clubs there in the chat. And also Flash Score is useless. I don't know why you use it as well, says Hamish. Yeah, pretty much they are normally not too bad. But in this game, it seems like they are just not updating themselves. So we'll update it probably at halftime so that it is on the exact score. But now it's going to be kicked in behind there from Waikato, a little chip and chase. But now Nankerville doing nicely to be able to grab that one straight in the breakdown once again here for Waikato on the ball. Is it the penalty? No. Losing his footing, so not able to contest. Going to be passed back by the looks of it. It will be now Chapman looking to pass it to the short side. Jacob Norris now taking a bit of contact, or actually a Shalfoon there, with the carry straight on the ball there. James Tucker, though. Has he got it? Yes, he does. It's going to be the penalty for not releasing a Flash Score. Lol, bit of irony as well, says David. Yeah, at this stage, it's not very Flash Score, I guess you could say, because they have been having a few technical difficulties, I guess, in past kind of few games, and it does make it a little bit tough. I might have to look at other scoreboards, perhaps, if it doesn't keep on working. But pretty much normally the reason that I have got the Flash Score one is because it does show us what the time is in the game, but it hasn't actually got the time at this stage. It just say Nilo. And also, yeah, happy birthday, Scott Barrett. Hope you'll get lots of cake as well and ice cream today. And Scotty Scooty, Glamour Muscles as well, says Katie Dixon. Did he end up playing for Otago in their game up against Taranaki? Do let me know. Or yeah, did he end up playing for Taranaki up against Otago? I should say, Novmum, give us away from the game as well, says Sebastian. And tell you what, it's looking pretty full on one side of the ground at this stage, but they are showing James Tucker. He's a very dangerous player in the locks for Waikato, and they turned down the shot at goal, and they have instead decided to kick it for the corner. And now it is going to be the line-out opportunity here for Waikato, very close to the corner, 10 metres out, taken nicely by James Tucker. They have said that one is straight enough now. Good defence there from Tasman to try and stop the rolling more, and at this stage, the only direction it's rolling is backwards, trying to get it to push forward, and it is not going anywhere just at this stage. But the game score was 32-19 for that game. Your scoreboard is fine, the one you do yourself as well, says Hamish. And also we have got there. I hope you're having a fantastic time. As I says Katie Dixon, and now at this stage, if Waikato score now, she will certainly be having just that little bit more excitement. But at this stage, Marshall driving his way for Jack Lamb, going to be shut down, and they're trying to stop that ball from coming out. Very well done from Tasman. And it does now become the scrum. I believe it was Whaina Nuku. No, sorry, it was actually Sam Matingu who got straight in there and was able to get the turnover for his side. Just get a whiteboard, Hamish, as well, says David. That is actually a good point. Could stick one here, perhaps, next to me, because I have got the green screen about there, which looks weird because you guys can't really see what I'm pointing at, but pretty much there's about half an arm, or maybe about a quarter of an arm length backwards. I have got the green screen. But yeah, maybe a whiteboard or something along those lines could be a good idea in the future, because I think it is more the timer that people want to be able to see in terms of how far through the game we are, because 23 minutes at the moment between these two sides, and that is normally where Flash score is decent, because they do actually have the score alongside the time, but they don't have a whole lot of anything at the moment. We'll try refreshing it, see if that helps us out. We will go like that. We will go like, oh, that's the wrong one. And that's going to be the penalty to Tasman now. So they have once again been able to do it. Yeah, so we got 3-0, but they haven't actually got the, unfortunately, they haven't got what we do need from them at this stage, it seems. Oh, right, I am just very quickly, there we go, we are back on the right tab. Between these two sides at this stage, not really too much between them. They have both had their moments throughout this fixture, and it seems like it could be one of those games that go down to the final few minutes. Both of the Premiership semi-finals between Tasman and Hawke's Bay, and also Waikato and Canterbury, both ended up going down to kind of that last 10 minutes or so. The position at this stage, very even, but the territory in favour of Waikato, 73%, and also an extra minute and a half inside of the opposition, 22 for the Mooloos in the early stages. But 24 minutes down, Mitch Hunt already got a bit of a black eye, but he will be hoping that he can touch that trophy after the match and make it 3 in a row there. Oh, a little bit of a juggle, but taken nicely by Shalfoon in the end, wrestled by Samapeni Fino, and he steals it though. And now D'Angelo Leula looking for the 50-22. It's curling. It's curling. Oh, it's gone dead though, so they're going right back to where he kicked it from, and that was almost beautifully done from D'Angelo Leula, but unfortunately for him, it does now mean that they're going right back to halfway. Thought that it was worth a crack. It probably was. There was a lot of space in behind. Samapeni Fino in the end. Strange was able to take it, and then Samapeni Fino just stripping it from him, rips it away. And then from there, Waikato, they were going almost, you would say, for the 50-22, or just a little bit of territory as it was taken back into their half. And D'Angelo Leula, he knew it as soon as he kicked it. He's not a happy man at that stage. He just had to watch it go into touch. He's got a little bit of a smile on his face, but I think that is because he knew that unfortunately just overstruck that one just a little bit. But they are showing the other games that are taking place today. The France side for the women's are actually going to be taking on the Black Ferns. So we've got New Zealand versus France twice today. That's going to be a 3 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. We've got there. What's your thoughts on this year so far and the performance of New Zealand with COVID and bubble? All Blacks winners rugby championship highlight of the year as well, says Kevin. I think that they've done pretty well overall, the All Blacks. They've had a lot of criticism throughout the year as well, I have seen. But overall, I think if they can close out this game up against France with a win, I'd say it's been a relatively successful year overall. And who do you got, or who do you go for as well, says Ed. At this stage in this game, I mean, I'm living in the same island as Tasman, but Waikato, I do have a soft spot for the Mooloos as well. So I think at this stage, whoever ends up playing the better rugby, I am well and truly happy that they will be the Premiership champions for this one. Taranaki, I will say they definitely deserved it for the Premiership, or sorry, for the Championship of the Bunnings NPC. They just played phenomenally throughout their whole season. They didn't lose a single game. It is just a shame that they didn't earn themselves promotion due to promotion and relegation getting taken away. Hi, Kiwi lad. What's your score prediction for All Blacks versus France in France? As well, says Ryan, I think I said All Blacks by 8 as my prediction, but I feel like it could easily go either way for that one. Now, it is going to be a big push there from Waikato. Looking to the short side here. Chapman sells the dummy, sees the space, still going here. Drawing pass, beautifully done there from Chapman, looking for the corner. Regan Ware scores it. And Tasman scored the opening try of the match, and that was phenomenally done from Louis Chapman. Just hit the gap, went straight through, and Regan Ware picks up the first try of the match. What games are you streaming this weekend? So the next game that we will be doing is at 2 a.m. New Zealand time. That is Scotland versus Japan, followed by England versus South Africa, Australia versus Wales, France versus New Zealand, and then on Monday we will be doing Ireland versus Argentina as well. Drawing pass, beautifully done there from Chapman, and Regan Ware saw the corner, went for it, and he was able to score the try. Now, scoring against his old team, I believe they just said there, that Regan Ware doing very nicely, and now the score is 5 points to Tasman, 3 for Waikato, and Ware able to pick up the first try of the match. We will add him to the Tasman try scorers list, which I assume will be a list by the end of this game. Same for the Mulus, because I feel like they will be able to get themselves a few tries throughout this one as well. We will go like this, and we will go like this. There we go. It is up across the bottom. Yowza as well in the chat, and ref not looking at the late tackle as well. Says Nathan Sim there. Yeah, I think they did decide that it was just all right in that regard. And also Sub G as well in the chat. Welcome into the live stream. The Rugby Gauntlet, rest up all you can, yo, as well. And what a scrum as well, says Geronia. Yeah, tell you what, Louis Chapman, he saw the space on the short side, decided to go for it, and it was just the ability of being able to hang on to that ball and just continuously feinting that he was going to be passing it, and that was what really lured in the defense. And then they were able to go straight through. Scotty Barrett didn't play in the championship final, unfortunately, but tell you what, for me, it's guys like Stephen Petafeta and Kenny Naholu who brought this trophy to New Plymouth as well. Yeah, very talented players. That is sure. Great kick from Mitch Hunt. When you're talking about talent, he is a very talented goal kicker, and now the score is going to be 7 for Tasman and 3 for Waikato, but it was down the wing. Regan Ware, plenty of pace. Both men just trying to tackle him a little bit too high, but did end up sliding over the line and scoring the opening try of the match. Waikato is going to win as well in the chat. Also, who do you reckon will win the World Rugby Player of the Year nominee as well, says Ed. I say it's probably between Tupai and Hooper. I think those are the two who really do have a chance. If Karevi or Toje win it, I think there would be a lot more angry people around the world for that one. And also try Marcos in the chat as well from Sebastian. That one, it's been kicked for touch, and now 40 meters out, it is going to be once again the opportunity for Waikato. Love the stream, Amish, or live stream so far, Amish, as us this game. Thank you very much, mate. And we have got plenty more that are coming today, like literally 4 in a row are going to be coming up. My voice is going to disappear more than likely before the end of it, but it's well and truly going to be worth it because we have got so much great international rugby, and also the Premiership. I wish I could have gotten up a little bit earlier on to watch the Championship game, but instead I did have to rest due to the fact that our last live stream is going to be at 11 a.m. New Zealand time, so I thought I'd better get a little bit more rest overnight so that I'm rearing to go for the overnight ones. It's going to be an advantage now for Waikato, taking the quick tap there, and now using a little bit. Oh, great step there from Marshall, knock on there from Cortez Ratimido, and it is going to be going back, is it? And now Waikato, they were trying to drive their way forward, trying to take the quick tap, but now turning the ball over. If Mitch Hunt plays good for the Islanders next year, should be at All Black. Same with Whainā Nuku as well as Nathan Sim. Yeah, Whainā Nuku, definitely a name that was talked about for that All Black squad. I know that him, Jonah Nareki, and also Salisi Rayasi were 3 names that people were talking about for that left wing position due to the fact they only went with George Bridge. They've been playing Rico Ioane out there a little bit though as well. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to also join the Discord server for some banter as well, says Sebastian. And that is the link to the Kiwi Lads Discord. So if you guys do want to check it out, please do. Don't worry, Amish. I'll give you the gift of Grant Fox as well, says it Dwebs. Very generous, mate. Thank you very much for that. At this stage now, it's going to be scrum feed for Tasman. And we are currently sitting 30 minutes through this one. And we've actually got the clock is working. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got the scoreboard, and it is going to be behaving itself by the looks of it. So we will go like this, and we will trust that flash score scoreboard will be able to go throughout this whole match. But our time is off at the moment. Just a little bit of rest and recovery for both these sides, and also a little bit of strapping going on because it is going to be a very hard-hitting one. Michael Hooper deserves to win the Player of the Year as well. And also, what's your score prediction for Wales versus Australia game? See, that one as well, I think that could be split by only around that 5 points. Because we saw in that game, the Wallabies versus England, they were working hard. And I think Taniela Tupou, having him back in the front row, is going to be huge for them when it comes to that scrum time. So I'm going to say, I think I expect Wales to win it by 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if Australia win it by 5 instead. Balin Sullivan side with Hurricanes, and Nate announced retirement as well. What do you reckon for the Chiefs roster and / players for next season as well, says Ed? It's going to be tricky for them because they have lost Nathan Harris, like you mentioned. So I think overall, Samisoni Takiaho is going to have to really end up in a situation of working extremely hard for like that whole season pretty much. I'm not too sure who else they will have as their number 2 options for the Chiefs, but they've also lost Damian McKenzie. They've got Josh Ioane at 10, which is a good signing for them. Oh, that's a big scrum there from Tasman, and they do win the penalty straight away for the front row of, a little bit of push and shove there from Andrew Makalo. He's fired up at the moment by the looks of it. We always got there, don't trust it, 6 or 9-6 for the Wallabies as well. Says Amos Spencer, and also, well, this first half went quicker. Has indeed. It's flying by at the moment. 30 minutes through this game already of the Premiership Final. My favourite player from the 4 nominees is Mara Toje, but I know he doesn't deserve it. Not this year anyway as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, it is one of those ones. Very talented player, Mara Toje. That game up against the Springboks, him versus Etzebeth, is just that battle that, like, you know how I mentioned for the match between Fiji and Wales, I said Lewis Rees-Zammit versus Joshua Tuasova. That was the battle that I was looking forward to. This game, it is Mara Toje versus the Springboks. Or sorry, Mara Toje versus, well, pretty much the whole Springboks, I guess you could say, but him versus Etzebeth for this game is going to be the battle. New Zealand versus France, DuPont versus Smith, I think is the one that I'm looking forward to for that game as well. Now, the stage, it is going to be driving his way forward there. Chirika Davita moving up to 40 metres out now for Tasman. Once again, the mark goes going to be on attack. Mitch Wai cut out pass there, taken nicely by Quinton Strange out to Tava Nawai. Spinning out of the tackle and driving forward once again. I believe he is also signed for Moana Pacifica, which is a very good signing for them to have. Wai cut out pass there. Sits up though for Balin Sullivan. Back in his pace. He's got plenty of it. Michan not going to be able to catch him, and it's a mistake from Tasman and our Waikato. Take the lead back in this game in the 31st minute as well. We have got the Eddie Jones has been toxic towards the South Africans rugby coaches as well, says Dobbs there. And so Wales is going to beat Australia. Rugby lad as well, says Ryan. It's going to be a close one. I think it's very tough to be able to decide who will win that game because we don't know what Wallaby side we're going to see. Also, we don't know what Wales side we are going to see in terms of if they can be clinical in that one Wales. They have got the potential to win that game by maybe 10 plus points, but it's whether or not they can find that momentum nice and early on in that fixture as well. But Balin Sullivan able to score that try in the 32nd minute, and now Waikato have taken the lead back in this fixture. So we will add that to the try scorers list. We have got there, hey, Ed, in the chat from David Davin. And also we have got there, I think the score for the England versus Springboks game will be 31-29, England win, as well as says Dobbs there. And also we have got there, can the France beat the New Zealand? Why? As well as says Ed, I think the thing is, if New Zealand hadn't lost to Ireland, France were the team that I thought were going to be able to get the job done out of anyone in the Northern Hemisphere tour. And the reason behind that is they have just got too many good players. And I did actually say that that's a blessing and a curse because they will try and work out the best combo, but they haven't had that many games. They've had one against Georgia and also one against Argentina, whereas the All Blacks, they've kind of come off back-to-back games for the last 4 weeks. So it's whether or not the French side can kind of handle the pressure that the All Blacks will bring, but also if they can, they have certainly got the attack and also the ability off the tee to be able to keep on ticking up points. We have got their what was number 8, and Makaleo doing at least catch the ball as well, says Nathan Sims there. Yeah, I think they both just left it, thought that someone on the outside was going to get it, and someone did. It was Balin Sullivan for Waikato, and now they have been able to take the lead back. 10 points for Waikato and 7 to Tasman. We have got the Antoine versus Aaron 10 out of 10. Can't wait for that as well, says Sebastian. I guess in the game between Australia and Wales, what is the battle? Oh, great take there from Balin Sullivan. What is the battle, the 1 versus 1, that you think is going to be a good one? That's the Tasman penalty there for not releasing. And more than likely, from this far out, you've almost got to take on the corner, I would think. We've also got there, yes, the French can, their old All Blacks, or their an old All Blacks bogey team from way back as well. Says David there, but Anton Segner able to win that penalty. It is great to see him still out there. He did have an injury only a little while ago, and it looked like maybe he was going to end up missing the Super Rugby season, but he's back. Anton Segner signed for the Blues. I think he did indeed, which is why last week when we did see him go down, I thought it was going to be the situation of maybe he wasn't quite going to be able to keep on going. That is a good kick for the corner there for Tasman, and now 10 metres out. They will have a good opportunity, but I think at this stage, I'm trying to think of two players for Wales versus Australia. I'd say maybe Zammit versus Dalguni. That would certainly be a good one. Also, I've got a slight interest in Kurtley Beale versus Liam Williams, because Liam Williams, you would say, is a very informed fullback, whereas Kurtley Beale, he hasn't had much time in the international jersey recently. So I think both of them are really going to have to patrol the back. That's going to be the advantage for Tasman, going a little bit too early there when they did come together. Stage trying to drive their way forward. Charika Defeater are currently having a wrestling match with James Tucker, but now joining back up with the back of the rolling maul. Does Makaleo offload it back to him? He does indeed. And now Charika Defeater just waiting for the opportunity to break off. He's gone to ground. And now Chapman's going to be firing this one back once again. Lester Whainauku throwing himself at the line, trying to spin out Mitch Jacobson straight on the ball. Hasn't got it though. Chapman now fires it back 10 metres out. Anton Segner now trying to step it. He's going to be dragged down on a great tackle by Jack Lamb, who has been everywhere in this first half for the Mooloos. Now looking to the short side. Mitch Hunt sells the dummy, goes himself there. Good tackle on him by Jacobson. He's going to be wrestled to the ground. That's an advantage as well. Now Whainauku trying to spin out of the tackle. Still available there. Jack Lamb jumping on the ball there for Tasman. High tackle is the call, and it is going to be the penalty buffering as well, says Cody. And also, sup, says Angelina as well. Welcome into the live stream. Yes, on Rugby and Life. And on my way down to the Eurotunnel as well, we'll be in Calais at 11 a.m. We'll be Paris by 2. We'll win by 8+ as well, says Jared. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game. I actually know someone else who is going to that game, and they are going to be sending me a quick wee message before the game that hopefully I will be able to put up on the live stream beforehand. And also, we've got the Adams versus Paisami. That's going to be also a very good one to see. Just a little bit too high there on Mitch Hunt from Mitch Jacobson, trying to hold him up to get that rolling maul possibly shut down pretty early, but it does mean now that Tasman have got the opportunity to convert this one into 3 points at high from Angelina as well. Welcome in, and a high all Thor's back for the Wallabies. He is indeed. Also, Alana Latoa is going to be back as well. So they went from having no tight air props available really other than Ollie Hoskins and also James Slipper playing his second ever game at tight end. Now they have got Taniela Tupou starting and Alana Latoa coming off the bench. So that is definitely going to increase that scrum power for the Wallabies in this one. But then they have lost Michael Hooper, so it is going to be a little bit tough in that regard. Thoughts on Fekete, debut for Wales as well. He used to play for Bay of Plenty though, as Aussie said. It's going to be interesting to see how it does go. Overall, like, I feel like debuts in international games of rugby, because we've actually seen it for that game between England and South Africa. It is their number 2. Oh, what's his name? I can't quite think of the name of the man off the top of my head, but he is actually having his debut up against the Springboks, which is like, it's one of those ones, young players, some of them shine in those kind of debut pressure situations. It's going to be tough to see how it does go, but that one has gone over there. So Tasman now bringing it back to 10-all, and just who did you say Alalatoa as well, sees it big ass ball. And also we have got there the All Blacks will play in their away white t-shirts, not their normal black jerseys as well, says Ryan Sims. So who knows how that will go. When was the last time they wore white for the All Blacks? I know that on Rugby Challenge when I played the Springboks, I lost when I was wearing white, as I know, yeah, in the chat from Angeline. And now it's going to be kicked off by Waikato once again here, going high from D'Angelo Leula, looking for a bit of loftiness. Oh, that was brilliantly taken there by Quinton Strange. Now, this stage, Tasman have got this one 35 metres out. My voice is already struggling at this stage, which is not good news. We have got so many more hours going. There are good players, good Aussie players in Japan and Europe, it's sad, as well, says Amish there. Yeah, I can only imagine how strong like the Super Rugby Australian teams would be if they did have some of those players playing for them as well. It's going to be taken nicely once again from, it was the number 15, whose name is Tongia. And he has not really put a foot wrong so far in this match, going with the high kick once again here, taken nicely by Mitch Hunt. Oh, Masisi Dawai has just flown at him like he was a sitting duck, and he was absolutely whacked there. Now it's going to be Chapman, fires it back now into the hands of Norris with the carry. Oh, sorry, it's Shelfun. I keep on confusing those two. They've both got the headgear on, or both got the head strap, I guess you should say, and North versus South probs as well in the chat from Katie Dixon. And now Chapman going to be kicking up this high ball once again. Does find the touchline, trying to think about taking it quickly, not quite able to. Don't forget to check out the Rugby Down Under podcast for all things rugby every week with the Kiwi lads and Big R Sport there from the Rugby Down Under podcast. And this weekend we will be talking, or after this weekend we'll be talking all things about all of the matches. Like, there is about 20 games of international rugby that are taking place, so there is plenty to talk about. We went for 2 hours last week, quite a while, but did fly by, hey, mate, as well. Says Johan, welcome into the live stream, mate. You will be excited for the Springboks versus England in only around 8 hours' time. That one is going to be taking place, and they go from club. The next minute, they are at Leicester or the Samoas as well. A little bit of a loose ball there, and it's going to be a knock-on from, I believe, originally from Waikato, and then it was Tasman and Andrew Makaleo once again trying to fire up the opposition. Next week's episode, maybe 6 hours episode as well. I'm 15 years old today as well, says Johan. So happy birthday, mate. I know that you were mentioning about how it is your birthday, but you have also got exams for this day for the Springboks versus England. So if you have not had them yet, I believe you will have them a little bit later on. Good luck for your exams, mate, and hopefully you do smash them out of the park, and then you can enjoy a little bit of rugby a little bit later on in the day with England taking on the Springboks, New Zealand taking on France, Wales taking on Australia, Japan taking on Scotland as well. That's going to be a good game, a rugby, a physical one, I would think, but we are going to be covering all those games on the channel first. So this is Crazy and see, welcome into the live stream, mate, and go Bok, make me proud on my birthday. It's us, Johan there, and also, if your voice gone, Hamish, that's a bit of a problem. It's us, Kevin, and also thoughts on the Harlequins versus Saints game. That's going to be a penalty to Waikato now, right on halfway, and also right on half time. George Dyer doing very nicely, and I believe they will be taking on the 3-point. Hey, everyone as well. Katie Dixon, 12 hours final offer as well. And happy birthday, young man, in the chat from David Devon and the George, the Hamish, the Ball, and the Kieran in the chat. And the podcast make it 9 hours as well in there. But yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how it goes. I didn't actually see the Harlequins versus Saints game yet, Ed, so I'm not too sure who would have won that one. But I assume the Harlequins would have been favourites going into that. So maybe the Saints could have been able to get their win. Do let me know. And also, we have got their thanks from Johan. And hey, everyone, and happy birthday, lady, in the chat from Katie Dixon. But now at this stage, it is going to be the opportunity. That yawn's come out of nowhere. But now at this stage, 40 metres out, D'Angelo Laula currently only missed the one tonight, 1 from 1. He was sitting before he did miss the next one. So 1 for 2. Harlequins won by 26-25. So very close game indeed for that one. As a Quins fan, I couldn't care about the Premiership Cup, but I'll take another Quins style comeback as well. That one is a good kick from D'Angelo Laula. And now at halftime, it is 13 points to Waikato and 10 to Tasman in the final. So it's going to be a very close second half by the looks of it. And also, cheers, bro, in the chat from David for Crazy and Zeb. But now at this stage, only the 3 points difference. Tasman able to score the one try with Regan Ware. One try for Waikato as well. It was off the intercept, and it was Balin Sullivan who was able to go all the way and score that one. So both tries coming within 5 minutes of each other. But now maybe there could be a massive win for one of these sides coming up, because whoever wins it, they get the, I almost said the Gallagher Premiership we have been talking about a little bit, but they will get the Bunnings NPC Championship. And no power in my town tomorrow from at 7 a.m. No ABs versus France game for me as well, says Crazy NZ. Are they turning it off kind of for maintenance, Crazy NZ, or something? Because it seems like a weird time to do it while the All Blacks are playing, if they do want to keep people slightly not hated. We have got the ARDA, brother, how you do, and also Hotspot as well, says Amish there. And also we have got the, are you planning to stream all Rugby Premiership or to stream Rugby Premiership at all as well, says Ed. I can't do the Premiership Cup, unfortunately, due to the fact they don't actually show it over here in New Zealand. But when the Gallagher Premiership comes back, I am going to be doing those games, as well as a little bit every once in a while with the top 14 and the URC as another competition. We're also going to be doing the sevens that does come back next weekend, which is going to be pretty awesome to see. And cough lozenges, same as cough lozenges as well, says David. And also, hey, David, hey, Katie, hope you are well. And also, we have got their halftime scones. Scones, I guess I should call it a halftime massage for my bones as well, says Katie Dixon and AO Sebastian. And also, happy birthday, mate. Wishing you all the best for Johan as well. At this stage, we got Dan Carter on our screen, the man who is a master at the banana kick. And I think kicking is going to be so important in the second half of both of the sides, not just off the tee, but also just in general. If you can find a little bit of space, yet maintenance, perfect timing as well, says Crazy and said, surely people are going to be complaining about that. I've already had my 4 on my exams. I have 4 as well, says KM Fresh Gaming. So hopefully you did smash them out of the park and you were able to nail them, mate. But yeah, this stage, I think whoever can find that space in behind for the kicking game, it will be the most important aspect of the second half. Also, I mean, if you can break a tackle or two, the likes of a Leicester Whainā Nuku, Tawa Nawai as well. And then for Waikato, I'd say Balin Sullivan in the midfield. He is looking strong. D'Angelo Laula also, he had a phenomenal game in their match up against Canterbury. So if he can do the same here for the second half, either of these sides can still win this game. And I think it is going to be an extremely close one. But Waikato at the moment, they've just got the edge, sitting 3 points ahead, 13 points to 10. But anyone who doesn't know, 32 points to 19 was the score in the game between Taranaki and Otago for their game. And I will quickly let you guys know exactly who scored the try. So Josh Ioane was able to get one for Otago. Also, the other tries, Vilamoni Karoi and Josh Hill. Then for the Tasman side, for Taranaki, it was Kinina Holo was able to get a try. Also, it was Williams and Waite, and then Jared Profit very early on in that game. So a few tries for both of those sides. Josh Ioane looks like he had a decent game for Otago. And then we have got there on my social studies. One, I got 60 out of 85. Does that count as a pass? KM Fresh, do let me know. And any favourite rugby premiership team, who do you go for this year as well? Says Ed. I know that we've got a few people who support the Harlequins, so it does end up possibly persuading me a little bit more in that direction, I guess you could say. At least Whainaranuku has to score a try here. I feel like he produced something out of nowhere as well, says Sebastian. And also we have got there on science. I got 28 and half out of 38 as well. And yeah, I passed as well. So that is great news that you will be able to pass there. I thought Billy Connolly was a master of the banana kick. You have to be at least 30 to understand that. Sorry, folks, as well. Says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there in the chat, Western forced to win Super Rugby. It's going to be tough for them. And the reason I say that is because last year they played some phenomenal rugby, but they have lost so many players. This year they've lost Domingo Miotti, they've lost Thomas Kubeli, they've lost, I don't know whether or not they've still got Santiago Medrano. Jordan Oloafella, who was able to help them get that win over the Reds, he has gone back to his premiership side as well. So they're going to be missing quite a few of their players that they used last year to be able to do so well. So it's going to be tough for them, but they certainly have the ability to be able to get it done if they do end up putting some games together. And all you got to do is get to those finals playoff games, and then from there, anyone can really win it. And you just need a couple good games to be able to do so. But at this stage, I'm wondering who's going to be able to have the best game in the second half between these two sides. Lester Whainaranuku is a name that has been mentioned a few times. One time I got 10 out of 80 on a maths test as well, says Hamish Spencer. That is not ideal. And I assume that wouldn't have been a pass if I'm not wrong. Looking forward to your All Black stream because it's more fun and interesting with a fitting classic against France, even without actually watching the game. As I said, Sammy says, yeah, it's going to be a pretty awesome game between those two sides. And it's 9 a.m. New Zealand time, but I believe by then we will end up being in that situation of well and truly being wide awake, just with the amount of rugby. Like before that game, we would have had Wales versus Australia, which will be just a hard-hitting affair and also probably pretty fast-paced as well. Before that, England versus South Africa, which is going to be an absolutely phenomenal one as well. We have got there why they don't have rugby union fantasy as well. About time. I believe they've got some form of it for Super Brew, if I'm not wrong, Ed, but then I'm not too sure. I haven't actually got Super Brew because, as you guys know, I can't predict anything to save myself on these live streams. Like normally, whatever I say, if you go with the opposite, you're probably in a good position of being able to get it right. We have got the but no one in the class got a pass as well, says Hamish Spencer. So it sounds like was a very tough one indeed. That because 10 out of 80, not the best percentage there. I feel like I should be able to work out the exact percentage, but I will leave that to you, Hamish. And the lowest was 3 as well, says Hamish Spencer. Well, that one, but at this stage, they are advertising TVs to myself, which I feel like is a little bit harsh because I feel like I like a TV. If there was one on offer, we have got there. As well, my friend got 14 out of 38 on the science exam. As I says, KM Fresh. So do you need 50% to be able to pass KM Fresh? Because I know that for our ones, it was like you got achieved merit or excellence, I believe, for kind of the assignments up till that point, and then the final exam was kind of like a percentage-wise type thing of how many you were able to get. I believe I passed all of mine except for a music one, which I did not quite get right. We others got there. I'm not doing that. You can though as well. See Hamish Smith and Churkuzzies in the chat from Toilet Smithy. Sorry, welcome into the live stream, mate. It's great to have you here. Do let me know who is going to be winning all the games in your opinion for tonight. We've got not just the 4 big ones, but also we have got the game taking place between Fiji and Georgia. Also Romania playing Tonga. I know that you'll be looking forward to that one, Sebastian. 3 out of 80. Don't give that guy a credit card. He'll never be able to remain or remember the pin code as well, says Sebastian there. And also I have notes when All Blacks lose, so they quit. Quick to sack the coach as well. And says Kevin, also let's go Waikato in the chat from Smithy to and also Achieve and Metric as well. Says it was KM Fresh and also sorry cousins haven't been able to join on the streams recently as well. Says Smithy to no worries, mate. We have had so much rugby and also like that's the thing. It's getting to that busy time of year. We're in November. It's only a month and 5 days away from Christmas already. So it does mean that people will end up getting busy. I do understand that though. But it is great to see you here for this one as well. We have got there, but next test I got 33 out of 60 something, so I kind of recovered as well, says Hamish. And also, did anyone have that mandatory assignment in school where you had to take a raw egg and construct a housing unit out of it to sit on, so when it dropped from height, it doesn't break? As I said, Katie Jackson, I believe we did. You had to try and, I believe it was making a parachute, wasn't it? For if you dropped it off a roof, although I don't think we dropped it off a roof for ours. I think it would have been just from like a meter or so, and you had to try and work out how to protect it. So people use balloons, people used all sorts of things as well. I got metric on social studies as well, says KM Fresh, and also we have got their Cheers Waikato brothers from King Country as well, says Louis, and at this stage they're doing very decently, 13 points to 10 in this fixture so far. How about a game of Super Rugby winner versus Premiership Rugby winner, like the NRL versus Super League team as well? About time, plus it'll be sold 200 times more than the original Cup finals. Yeah, it would be pretty awesome to see the likes of last year. It would have been the Blues taking on the Harlequins. I mean, I wouldn't complain if we got to see that game, that is for sure. I know that now that the South African sides are going to be getting an opportunity in the URC, it does mean that they can go for the Champions and Challenge Cup from next year onwards, which I think will help get that Southern Hemisphere kind of style into the Champions Cup versus those kind of Northern Hemisphere teams. But it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they do all qualify for those ones. I believe more than likely a few of them will be in the Challenge Cup rather than the Champions Cup. And I'm back head to water the garden as well, says Nathan Simon. Also, I dropped out of year 10 and I have no regrets as well, says Hamish Spencer there. And also we have we used the headmaster's car, if that counts as well, says Sebastian. That would have gotten you in some big trouble, wouldn't it, Sebastian? Or did no one catch you? I feel like if you did get caught, that wouldn't have ended too well for yourself. But now at this stage, Waikato making their way back out onto the field. And also we've got the LMAO from Katie Dixon there. But the carry so far, Tasman have had a little bit more in terms of the carry meters as well, 146 to the 130. And the tackles, it is going to be 54 made by Waikato compared to the 35 of Tasman. So this game's been relatively even for the early stages, and also LMAO from it was KM Fresh there as well. But now at this stage, it's an important second half. The next 40 minutes will determine who will be the Premiership champions for 2021. And there is no promotion, there is no relegation. If there was, it would be very unlucky for Auckland, as they only got to play about 2 games so far into this season. But that is why they have got rid of it. Taranaki going undefeated in their whole season. They'll be a little bit disappointed that they weren't able to get themselves promoted. But now it is going to be Balin Sullivan. He looks ready to go for this game as well. Do you watch tennis, Hamish? Only occasionally. I haven't probably followed it as closely as probably I'd say my order of sports that I follow would be rugby union, cricket, and then it's kind of everything else like football, tennis, and everything kind of slots into that same of if it's on, I will watch it just because I love watching sport, like no matter the hour of the day as well. But yeah, I feel like I probably don't know tennis players as well as I should, but I do have a tennis game on Xbox, so perhaps we could try and get something going for the Kiwi Lads Gaming Channel as well. Taken nicely by Waikato, and now they are trying to drive their way forward here once again. It is going to be at the back and are trying to march their way forward. Reece Marshall was able to score in last week's match as well. D'Angelo Laula now passing back, getting him rappling inside of their 22 at the moment. It is going to be Togia. He does kick it downfield, or good kick downfield. Set up there for Leicester Fire. Nuku charging straight at the line. Wrestled down, though. And a very good tackle. Tasman very close to being able to break through for the first try of the second half. And now great job there in the breakdown. Turned over by Waikato. And now it is going to be Cortez Ratama. Passes back. Summer Penifino. Bounce pass there. The Bulls just trying to run away from the Waikato player. Good offload on the inside there. Togia with the step as well on the outside now. Mosisi Tawai running down the wing here. Oh, he's going to just not quite be able to find that offload. And he is not happy at the moment with that one. Who's your favourite All Blacks player, Hamish, as well as this KM Fresh? I quite like watching Artie Savia overall, just because you know that in the breakdown, he's going to be very strong. Also, Will Jordan, though, of course, it is going to be one of those players that you can't really miss a performance from him because you never know what he's going to be doing. You're going to stream cricket in the summer as well, says Nathan Sim. I am indeed. We are going to be doing the KFC Big Bash. Also, any other international fixtures that we can, we will be covering them on the channel as well. We have got the OMG Hamish. There's an ad on TV selling Lord of the Rings commemorative coins as well. 20 years, holy moly, as well, says David there. 20 years, and I still haven't watched it. So I feel like that is certainly something that we'll have to look at in the future. That's going to be thrown in nicely. Andrew Makaleo gives it now into the hands of Shelfin. We have got there. Who was your favorite superhero, Hamish, in your childhood days? Oh, bloody Scooby-Doo. No, I know he probably doesn't count as one, but superhero, I feel like I didn't really watch too many superhero movies overall. But I can't actually think of one. Oh, Nankivell going straight through the middle there. Looking for the offload, gives it to Mitch Hunt now. And Tasman once again going to be on the attack here. But yeah, it is very hard to think of one off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of what programs I used to watch as a kid, but now it's going to be Lester Whainanoku driving his way for good low tackle on him though by Mitch Jacobson. We have got their Holy 10 out of 10 as well. And also we have got their, oh wait, really, as well on the chat. And also we have got their, in the chat, I reckon says David now at this stage straight on the ball there for Waikato Summer Penny Final, not able to get it. Nankivell now grubber in behind, looking for the touchline. It's very close and it has gone out there. And Scooby-Doo absolutely counts as a superhero. He hung out with Stoners and self-crime as well. Says Katie Dixon and also, yeah, mate, in the chat from David. Oh, yeah, I did enjoy watching Scooby-Doo. That's a brilliant run there from Alex Nankivell. And at this stage, it is going to be very tough for either of these sides to be able to get themselves the final try that could make the difference. I think we've still got another 3 tries in this match, and it's whoever can get the 2 of them rather than the 1 that will be able to win this Premiership Final. But now at this stage, Reece Marshall, important throw, has been able to do decently. Wrestled down to the ground there. It was a Hamilton Burr who was tackled. Whoever's got there didn't just fight crime, he solved crime as well. Says it, Katie Dixon there. Kicked a high there, Chapman. Good kick downfield from Cortez Ratama. And at this stage, it does mean that it is going to be Tasman who have now got the opportunity with the line out. Every moment in this final is important for both of these sides. We have got there. I grew up on Scooby-Doo as well, says David. Yeah, Scooby-Doo. I remember I used to have those magazines that came with the cards for Scooby-Doo. I don't know whether or not you guys had it as well. Now it is going to be Anton Segner. It's Alex Nankivell not able to find the offload there, but they are getting very close there for Tasman. Looks like it is going to be now going back. The hands of Chirika DeVita wrestled down to the ground. Chapman now looking to the short side. Good step on the inside now. And they are continuing to drive their way forward here for Tasman just inside of the 22. Mitch Hunt, quick answer. Andrew Makalao. Beautiful sell on the dummy there from the number 2. Still available. Chapman passes it back to Mitch Hunt now. Drawing past here. Whainanoku tries to spin out. Great low tackle on him though. And it does mean that it is still just going to be on the side of Tasman. 7 phases in. Sam Matinga with a good carry forward, but Waikato straight on the ball, and it's a penalty advantage though, due to them not being able to roll away quite enough. Now it's going back in. Mitch Hunt with a little bit of a skip, little bit of a sell of the dummy, and that is going to be going back for the penalty. Nankivell underrated as well, says Nathan Sim there, and it still says halftime, lad, as well, says Ed Vogel there. Nice binds, Bowden Barrett and Richie Moonga as well. Thomas the Tank Engine is by Superhero as well from Amish, and Scooby-Doo was my favourite. I like the movies as well, says KM Fresh. At this stage, they are going to be taking on the 3 points here, Tasman, and that will put them back to 13 all in this game. It's going to be very interesting to see who can get themselves the win in the later stages of this one. I'm trying to predict it, and it's very tough to do because the momentum shifting in this game has just kept on going back and forth. But now Sam Matinga, also Andrew Makalao linking up very nicely. The front row of Tasman, they're certainly more prominent in this game than the Waikato front row, and they've been able to have a couple big pushes at scrum time as well, which has been helping them. But now Mitch Hunt, straight out in front. Okay, this one says that the kick is going to be from 77 metres out, but that is a lie. It's more like 15 or so. He is going to be lining up here, Mitch Hunt. 45 minutes into this game. Who are you back into for the Big Bash League as well? It's hard not to back the Sydney Sixers due to the fact that they've won it the last 2 years, but I feel like someone like a Melbourne Stars or maybe Sydney Thunder I've seen have got a decent side. It's going to be tough though. Let me know what you're thinking, Ed, for that one. I love Scooby-Doo as well, but my favourite superhero I used to watch Batman, the animated series, and the Batman Beyond. Every single day my house is full of Batman stuff, the most random objects, as well as there's Sebastian there. And also, brother, I was just about to mention Batman, the animated series, and also we have got the Get Out of My Brain, says Katie Dixon. That one has gone over, and now the score is going to be 13 all between these two sides. So very close fixture so far. Not really anything different of what we would have been expecting for a final of the Premiership, because at the end of the day, they are showing the sun setting, and there are still 34 minutes left for either of these sides to be able to get themselves the win here. It's a great run there from Quinton Strange, and they weren't really expecting him to take on the run, and because of that, he made an extra about 13 metres or so. It's a very specific number. Chapman puts the ball high, taken nicely though by, it was the number 15, Tongia, going for the kick and chase. Sitting up nicely now, and Lester Whainanoku trying to break the tackle. He's going to be dragged down by the halfway line, or very close to the touchline as well, but it is still going to be on the side. Hands on the ball there for Chapman. So it was play on. And at this stage now, it is going to be Tasman just inside of their half. I've said it at this stage many times today. I've realised, well, I'm from Sydney, so Sixers and Thunders as well, says Ed. And also, I can still hear the intro song of Batman, the animated series. So Noi. I'm not too sure what that word is. I feel like I should be able to pronounce it. Early Spider-Man intro was God as well, says Nathan Simon. 13 hours until All Blacks versus France. I'm looking forward to it, mate. That's not taken nicely by Masisi Dawai and Tavatava Nawai. Now got this one, trying to break through. Tasman once again going to be just inside of their own half here. Good seller dummy from Nankerville. Looks for the offload, and now it's stolen. Balin Sullivan, he's all over it, and he's going to score the try now for Waikato, and they need to stop giving that man the ball because he has just got himself another, and Waikato take the lead as well. Ivana Joe is the call, but Balin Sullivan picks up his second try. Anytime there is a loose ball, he is there, and 2 tries tonight now. He has been able to add that one to his try scorers list. And now at this stage, 48 minutes in, playing to the whistle is something that they are saying about on the commentary side of it. The ball ended up going down. Alex Nankerville just getting it a little bit wrong. Was a 4-pass set up, and it was just straight into the hands of Balin Sullivan. And then from there, he was able to go straight through. Pow, bam, whack as well. I love the episode where the Mad Hatter puts Batman and Robin in the labyrinth as well and makes them solve riddles as well. And also we have got there, I just saw that too. And also I saw the trailer for the new Ghostbusters movie. Looks off the hook as well, says David. I haven't actually seen any of the Ghostbusters movies, so I feel like I need to start watching more movies. And by the sounds of it, as I am a little bit green, I guess you could say, in terms of that. But now at this stage, that one has gone over. And now the score, 20 points to Waikato and 13 to Tasman. Now I will mention Golden Point exists in this final. So if it does end up in that situation of going to right to the final minute and it is a draw, we are going to be getting a little bit of extra time for the Golden Point stage. And then I believe if it's not decided by that, there's either a kicking contest or it is going to be, I think it goes down to the points differential, which I believe would actually benefit Waikato in that regard. And I know that's that was Riddler, wasn't it? And had did the Alice in Wonderland thing as well, says Katie Dixon. Also, both tries from Waikato with stupid mistakes as well, says Nathan Sims. Yeah, Balin Sullivan all over both of them. He able to get himself 2 very good tries. So that one has been kicked high from Mitch Hunt, extremely high there. Mosisi Dawai taken off the field, and that's going to be Brendan Walker who is replacing him. The stage now trying to get this rolling maul going. Reese Marshall at the back, passes it back to Cortez Ratima. Going for the high boot. And I will say Alex Nankerville, he's had a 50-50 game. He's been playing very well throughout this game, but also there have been a couple moments in the midfield that have caused a few little bits of mistake from Tasman. Now it is going to be going back Chapman. Pass it to Mitch Hunt on the short side, looking to step in the inside. Now Chapman once again. Quick hands here from Tasman. Straight on the ball there. Almost got Ratima able to take it. Sam Martinga there selling a dummy. Good go forward. Beautiful offload to Chapman there. Looking for it as well. Gives it off to Whaiananuku. And they are still trying to drive their way forward. Waikato almost on the ball. Chapman goes back to Hunt. Now out to Nankerville. Wide cut out pass. Finds the hands of Regan Weir now. Going for the corner. Oh, great tackle on him though. He's been able to slow him down. Louis Chapman now fires it back. Nankerville. Mitch Hunt now. This is looking good for Tasman. The back line is looking very solid. They're playing the advantage as well. And it's going to be Chapman goes out to Nankerville, goes for the kick in behind. It's going to be sitting up, and now it is going back for the penalty. And Clayface, story always made me so sad. Poor Clayface as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, I want Waikato to win so bad. Last year was so close as well, says Ed. And yeah, this stage, this year seems like it is going to be just as close between these two sides. So I believe it is going to be Tasman. Do they look for the corner? What are they going to be doing? Quinton Strange having a chat with Mitch Hunt here. At this stage, 7 points difference. What do they do? Do they go for the corner and try and get that try straight back? Or do you go for the 3 and put yourself within a kickable penalty? They are just going to be checking something, I believe, on the TMO as well. Hey, lad, are you happy with the AB's lineup against France? Why? As well, says Ed. I think it's a decent one overall. They have decided to go back to, I guess, what you could call maybe the strongest 4-pack in some regards for the All Blacks after a few kind of injuries and also resting players. So they have got Akira Ioane, Sam Cane, and also Artie Savia as the loose forward trio. They will need a big game throughout this game. But yeah, it was actually Mitch Hunt got nailed there in the back. And like they are saying, maybe it could be ended up as a penalty against them. But also, I do like the back line that they have gone with Will Jordan out on one wing. And I think George Bridge, even though some people have said he has a little bit of a 50-50, I think having him there and Rieko Ioane in the midfield is a good idea just to try and add that little bit more I guess you've got the power and the pace with Quintupai and then Rieko Ioane as your combo, but it will be interesting to see how they go. I know that they wouldn't have wanted Bowden Barrett to be injured, but Aaron Smith starting at 9. He hasn't played in a few weeks, so hopefully he does not have any form of rust while going over there, I should say, because I believe he has missed the last few weeks of Manawatu's Bunnings NPC as well. But at this stage, Mitch Hunt, he is going to be taken on the 3-pointer here. So it does mean that the difference between these two sides would only be sitting at 5 points. That's a lie. It would be actually 4 points between these two sides. So even a non-converted try here for Tasman would end up getting them the win, perhaps, in the later stages. But saying that, Waikato have still got a couple more points in them, I believe. But Tasman now, Mitch Hunt, he is sitting 3 from 3. This one's 23 meters out, so should be nice and kickable for him with the accuracy that he has got himself. But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel, as we are going to be covering so much more rugby today as well. We are going to be doing the international fixtures between Scotland and Japan, England versus South Africa, New Zealand versus France, and Australia versus Wales as well. And I hope you get to do something fun for your birthday this year, Hamish, as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there my favorite Harry Potter reading book, epic storyline as well, says Kevin. He's missed it. Mitch Hunt there. Well, that's not ideal. He has missed that one big time. Someone was ringing the cowbells in the crowd. Quite a few people ringing their cowbells, but Mitch Hunt has missed that one. So that is not ideal for that man. And he has put up the hand and saying sorry to the boys there. But yeah, for my birthday, I believe the next day after that, we have got the Sevens in Dubai. So it's going to be a weird hour of the morning that one will be taking place. It's always a good time to boo George Bridge. With that being said, boo George Bridge as well. Says Sebastian there. Going to be kicked downfield. Tava Nawai now got this one, gives it off to Whaina Nuku. At this stage now, Tasman, they need a try and they need it soon. They want any chance of it being able to win this game. Going back now, Chapman hitting the ball up now. There's going to be a couple of replacements made by Tasman. I will show you guys the bench that they have gone with in this fixture, but they've got a few good names there that they will be open to use in the later stages of this one. Looking through, they have got Quinton McDonald. He is playing his 100th game of rugby. That's going to be a little bit loose there. And Anton Stegner just getting in the way of the man, and now getting in Rappling, going for the little kick in behind. Not really too much happening there, but they are going back for the original knock on now. But Teitaro Tahuri Orangi for Waikato. Also, Fletcher Smith, Brendan Walker is already out on the field. He was replacing Mosisi Dawai, who was on this near side of the field on the left wing. Levi Amua Maka Springer, also a player to look out for. And Hugh Renton might be able to make a little bit of an impact in the later stages of this one. But I'm excited to see who is going to be able to get the win here, because whoever wins it, they get to say that they are the premiership winners. Tasman, they want to go 3 in a row, but it's going to be tough up against this Waikato side, as they are 7 points down at this stage with 53 minutes gone. And at this fixture, only the 26.5 minutes left as well. President Biden zoomed the Irish rugby team the other day to congratulate their win over the All Blacks. A bit of a kick in the guts as well, says David. Also, we have got that. I missed something. Tell me, brother, as well. You can re-enter my brain now as well, says Katie Dixon. And you using Tribe as well, says Nathan Sim. Not for the scoreboard. I have got Flash Score that I do go off, but I do use Tribe for in terms of being able to work out when the games are taking place New Zealand time. As a lot of them with those games that are overseas, that's a massive kick, and it is going to be inside of the in goal now. And now Mosisi Dawai, it's Tava Nawai, going to be kicking that one back down the field. It's going to be sitting up on the halfway line though for Waikato. D'Angelo Leula goes back across here. Tongia stepping nicely, trying to break the tackles, but he is going to be dragged down straight on the ball there. Tava Nawai, has he got it? No, not quite. Cortez Ratama now firing it back 45 metres. Out from the line, Ollie Norris now looking for the inside ball, decides against going to Sami Penny Finau, and that was entry from the side there for Finau, and because of it, it is going to be a penalty for Tasman. We have got the so super Irish himself, like extra Irish as well, says Katie Dixon, but Sami Penny Finau just getting that one wrong, puts the hand up and apologises, joining Maul incorrectly, and now Mitch Hunt, 55 minutes down through this match. I'm still trying to decide who's going to win. Waikato, you would think from here they will be able to close it out, but then you never know, because Tasman, they fought back extremely hard. You use Tribe as you score, it's better as well, says Nathan Sim. The only problem with Tribe is the fact that on PC you can't actually get it up unless you have got a link directly, because I was in contact with them a little while ago about putting the scoreboard up for a few of the matches, but it is one of those ones, they don't actually have a PC version, so you do need it to be on your phone, which does not quite correlate with the scoreboard that I have got myself. But maybe I can get in contact with them in the future and see if we can get something going. Joe Biden had great-great-grandparents is Irish, so it's in his DNA as well. Sees that there. Now it's going to be Chirika Davita once again going forward. But the Tasman defense, the Waikato defense overall has been very solid throughout this whole match. Chapman fires it back. Mitch Hunt now just inside of their own half. Nankerville now trying to look for the step, almost looking like he was going to go for the wide cut out pass. Samapeni Fino makes the tackle on him. They have been wrestled to the ground. It looked like he dropped that ball. Nankerville now it's going to be Chapman running straight into the ref, and it is going to be the scrum feed now for Tasman. We have got there. Let's see what will Tyke Furlong score a try against Argentina. He was supposed to score against the ABs on his birthday, as I said, Sebastian. I feel like I want to see him or Porter score one due to the fact that their front row is phenomenal for Ireland. So I'm thinking him or Will Porter will be able to sneak themselves over the line because the physicality that they bring in that front row and also just in that four-pack in general, I think Argentina will be able to stop it for a little bit, but then Ireland will just be Ireland and be able to drive over maybe multiple times. I've got for that game, I believe my prediction is going to be that Ireland win that game by about 13 points or somewhere around there. I feel like they'll really be able to get going. But Argentina, hopefully they put up a decent fight as they were able to get themselves a win over Italy, which will hopefully give them just that little bit of confidence. And as he ever, my cousin went to see him drive past when he came to New Zealand as VP as well. He got an All Blacks jersey too. Says that David there. They are showing the coach of Waikato, Ross Filippo. He will be hoping that his side can get the win for this one. But Waikato, they've got a very strong side, and they were very unlucky in some regards not to be able to get themselves through the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman Final. Anytime you had a loss in that competition, that knocked you out of any type of finals contention. But the good news is they are going to have some very good fixtures coming up for Super Rugby Pacific. Interesting fact, last year, Whainananuku was living in the same house as my granddad's friend, as well as Nathan. So that is a very fun fact, and I hope so. My large, lovely Irish husband deserves the try. He was robbed of as well, and Tasman will win this as well, says Osayan. And yeah, at this stage, they will need themselves one try. Mitch Hunt, he did miss a three-point attempt a little bit earlier on, but if he can get himself one, maybe will be a good situation to be in. Also, we have got there. I hope he wears it. As I said, Scotty Dixon, are you still in lockdown in New Zealand House COVID case as well? We kind of have around that 200 mark each day, it seems to be at this stage. We are at almost going into a traffic light system, I believe it is. But pretty much it is still wear a mask when you are out and about and entering places. And Waikato should win surely as well, says Game Fresh. They're looking good from here. But Tasman have had all the position in the last kind of 10 minutes or so, which seems like the momentum is slowly starting to shift. But now it is going to be Tasman once again on the halfway line. Chapman looks to the short side, gives it off now. The hands of Andrew Newstubb goes for the grubber of mine. It's going to be bouncing awkwardly here, just bouncing. Oh, it's Brendan Waku was able to take it now. Oh, Togia dragged down there. Or charged down by Tavatava Nawai, and now it will be Waikato who have got their line out only 10 metres out from their line. I say Ireland by 17. They're way too tough at the Aviva as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, that's the thing. Aviva Stadium seems to just build them up so much, Ireland, for that one. So, yeah, I feel like maybe closer to that 20 mark might be the way to go. Fletcher Smith now making his way onto the field, replacing D'Angelo Leula, who's been playing at 10 for this game. So, Fletcher Smith will come in as fly half for the later stages. He said and played a season at college as well, says David over there, but it is D'Angelo Leula. He's getting a lot of praise from the crowd in this one, going to the back of the line out, taken nicely by Samapeni Final. More than likely, they will be kicking this one downfield here, the Mooloos. And it is Cortez Aratema. Fires it back to Brendan Smith. Oh, sorry, that's not his name. It is Fletcher Smith. Has been able to find touch. Tawatawa Nawai considered taking the quick throw. Decides against it now. 40 metres out. It is going to be the line out for Tasman. We have got their Halo thoughts on the Moana Pacifica players. How and what do you think about their debut season overall next year? What are their pros and cons joining the comp as well? Says Ed Vogel. Oh, Nankerville drops it cold. And because of it in the midfield, it does now mean that Waikato will be able to get this ball back, I believe. Yes, it is going to be the scrum feed. I would say Moana Pacifica, the players that they have signed, it's pretty much the best of the Pacifica players from the Bunnings NPC. Like some of their players, Olagi Vizania, I know that Lincoln McClutchy as fly half. I'm very happy to see that he has got a chance because the Super Rugby sides haven't considered him really. So now that he is going to be there, it is pretty awesome that he will get a few chances. Also, they are going to have Tawatawa Nawai, I believe. Like throughout these teams, there are plenty of players going to Moana Pacifica. Jack Lamb, another player. I'm excited to see them take part in the Super Rugby competition. And I feel like it will bring that extra physicality and kind of the flair that the island players play with the likes of the offloads coming, the cross kicks, everything along those lines. I feel it will just keep on adding to the competition. And they're really basing this year's competition off, I guess they've got specific rounds like the culture round, the women's round that has taken place as well. And it is, that's a big hit there from Tavatava Nawai. Nailed by Brendan Waka, and now it's a penalty to Tasman. That was a huge hit there between Tavatava Nawai and the Waka we have got there. Didn't those Irish outmaneuver the ABs in strength and speed as well? Says David there, and also Waikato deserved to win. And the chat says Nathan Summer, and also, but yeah, Ireland, they just played very well. They're going upstairs here to check maybe whether or not this is a shoulder charge. Yeah, to see whether or not Tavatava Nawai did actually shoulder charge him here. That will be a big mistake if that is the case, but it is going to be going upstairs to Shane McDermott to decide whether or not this is going to be anything more than the penalty. I'd say... Okay, like they are saying, he is wrapping his arms. So I think that is going to be fine. He said that he is fine with that, so that is going to be now the penalty to Tasman originally. Is that going to be a card? It shouldn't be. At this stage, they've said that it's fine, and it is going to be going now for the touchline. What's your opinion? Yeah, nothing in there. He was actually wrapping as well, Tavatava Nawai. If he did leave that arm down and make contact, then maybe they would have looked at reversing the penalty. But due to the fact that he did wrap Tavatava Nawai and he didn't strike him high, completely fine. And they are playing on. We have got their, hey, bro, do you think Sia Khaleesi or even should be a nomination for World Player of the Year as well? Says Cameron Milner. I know that there were quite a few names that did miss out that people wanted to see. So it is going to be... I know that we have actually talked about it a little bit on the podcast as well. We said that maybe they should have had a short list of about 10 to 20 players, and then from there had kind of the most popular ones that people do vote for moving forward. Because I know that Eben Etzebeth, also Lukanio was another South African that people were saying maybe has got a decent chance of being up there. And also he tried wrapping him, so no card as well, says Nathan Sim. But yeah, Tamatava Nawai at this stage, 4 carries, and in those 4 carries, 51 running meters for him. Anton Segner, a lot of pressure on him by Ollie Norris, holding him up here. It's become a maul, and Tasman at the moment driving it forward. If this ball doesn't come out the back, it is going to be the scrum feed for Waikato, and that is exactly what it is now. Very nicely done by them. And at this stage, they are heavily the favourites to go into the later stages of this game and be able to win it. Thoughts on David Havili's latest performance? What went wrong since Quinn will be starting for France as well, says Ed. I think they have decided that Havili seems to be better off the bench in the last few games for himself, just because they have been shutting him down extremely early, and that is something that France will probably look to do with Quinn Tupaia, since he is such a young player. They'll try and shut him down and kind of make him do an offload, because at the end of the day, if he can find an offload to Rico Ioane in just a normal scenario, that can create a lot of opportunity for Rico. But if he does end up having that little bit of extra pressure throwing the offload as well, then that is where it could end up going wrong. That is going to be the penalty one for Waikato for going down on the front row. And Ollie Norris, he is fired up at the moment for his side. But yeah, it is going to be... I think Quinn Tupaia is a good option, just because it seems to be lately that Havili has been heavily marked, and they seem to know what he's going to do. So unless he adds something else, like later on in the game, he can kind of play his game quite well, and he has also got that long boot option, and also he can cover fullback if Geordie Barrett did get injured, because we've only got one Barrett left at this stage. Last Barrett standing has gone to Geordie, due to the fact he is the only one who hasn't got an injury, but saying that he did have a red card earlier on, so he did get a couple of weeks off for that one. And do you think, who do you think is the All Blacks should be nominated as well, says Cameron? I think a lot of people for the category actually wanted to see Will Jordan for that one, rather than the kind of up-and-coming player, but I can understand why he is considered for that up-and-comer. Also, Artie Savia, I think, was another one for the All Blacks as a common name to get thrown around. That is not straight for the line-out throw, and now Tasman will once again have themselves maybe the scrum feed or the line-out option, but Stephen Messer just getting that one a little bit wrong. Played a couple games for the Blues throughout Super Rugby. Whoever else got there, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. All the support is much appreciated as well, says Sebastian. You heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe, because we have got plenty more international games of rugby that are coming up very soon. Japan versus Scotland, Australia versus Wales, South Africa versus England, New Zealand versus France, all back to back to back to back, and then Ireland versus Argentina will be the game that we are covering on Monday night. They are showing here Whainā Nuku. He will be an important man in the later stages. It's once again gone down on the front row. They've got the advantage now for Tasman. Machan going to be running attackingly. It's Alex Stankovic men on the outside. Going to be Andrew Newstub breaking on the inside. Still going Andrew Newstub, but dragged down there 30 metres out from the line. Going back now. It's going to be Shalfoon. Advantage is over here. They have said as well. And now Machan Passes it back. It's going to be Andrew Makaleo. Sorry, that was the wrong name. But Tavatava Nawai, I know his name. He's backing himself down the wing. Wrestled down by Ollie Norris. Tries to get up and go again. Did place it now. Mitch Hunt fires it back across field to Rika Davita. Big tackle on him by the Waikato defense. The ball bouncing out. And it is going to be now Cortez Ratemu who just clears it way downfield. And there is a lot of space. It's out. But it was just inside of the 22. So it is not going back, or is it? They are going back. So now at this stage, 22 metres out, Tasman will have the line out. Jarvo 69 to pitch invade as well. Says Nathan Simon. Also come on Waikato in the chat, and a thumbs up from Katie Dixon. Hashtag fins up as well, says Lashin. And yeah, at this stage, if Tasman want a chance of winning this game, they need to try almost off this next play. As there are only 20 minutes, but it is saying was carried back. And yeah, at this stage, Tasman on the 22. It will be Quinton McDonald. 100 matches for him, so he will be hoping to get this one as a win for Tasman. They are defending champs. They were able to win it last year. They were able to win it the year before that as well. But this game, they are putting themselves under a huge amount of pressure. And also, Waikato are just playing very well. Machan gives it off to Whainānuku. Almost a little bit of a juggle there from him. Wrestled down to the ground just inside of the 22. Chapman looking for the ball here. Trying to get it. Looks like there's a little bit of a leg in the way. And that ball's getting a little bit trapped at the moment. Going to be now passed out to Rika Davita once again getting the carry. The new signing for Fiji and Rua for the upcoming Super Rugby Pacific round, Shalfoon. Good carry once again. And Tasman just putting phases together here to Rika Davita. Only just got up and he is going again now. Breaking through. He's dropped the ball though. And it's a knock-on advantage now for Waikato. And this time they will be able to kick this one for the touchline. And it is not taken back unless they go for the counter-attack, which looks like that is what they are going to be doing. James Tucker with the carry now fire back from Tongia to Fletcher Smith, and he is looking for the touchline. So Waikato, they've been trapped inside of their own half for the past 5 minutes or so, and it doesn't look like Tasman is slowing down Nick Bryant. It's so bad as well. And the chat from Nathan Simon also, we have got the All Blacks versus France as well. Says Hitman, yeah, that's going to be All Blacks or France. I said the All Blacks, but I wouldn't be surprised if France come out firing in that game and do make it very close indeed. Joe 69 is legit as well. Says KM Fresh, but it looks like that is going to be the night over for one of the Waikato players. I believe he's actually only just come out onto the field as well. Does not look too flash from. I am just quickly going to see exactly what name it is. It was making his way off the field, but it does look like he's in a lot of pain and holding one of the ribs, maybe broken one. And we have got there. I have an idea. You should make 2021 AB's highlights of the year based on your version /fave as well, and put on a suit. There'd be a breakthrough, or that would be a breakthrough for Kiwi Lads channel, yeah, as well, says Ed. Although I believe at this stage, depending on whether or not, I think the footage is the slight problem. I wouldn't be able to show any match footage or audio, or else they would end up copyright striking us more than likely. Thanks for the live stream as always. Take care. I may catch up again later, perhaps. England's the Springboks game will be interesting, says Kevin. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. 4 a.m. or 4:15 a.m. I believe it is that game is going to be kicking off. Should be very exciting. They are shown there. France versus All Blacks, 9 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. I'm excited for it. Looks like there's a little bit of push and shove, few words being exchanged at the moment in the line-out, but once again, it will be Quinton McDonald. Next time, it's a free kick step is the call from the referee, so they are closing the gap a little bit there, Waikato, but now Quinton McDonald. Shalfoon off the field as well, and Hicks will be replacing him. Well, this one going to the back, taken nicely there by Quinton Strange, firing it back now. The back line once again, that's going to be Levi Amua making his way forward. I'm not too sure who he has replaced. I believe it would be Alex Nankerville. No, he is still out there, so it might have been Whainānuku who they have decided to take off there for Levi Amua. I'm looking around trying to see if I can spot who it was. I believe they showed it very, very briefly of who he's replaced. That's going to be the penalty to Tasman. If they do want it, they've got the advantage at the moment here. It's going to be Nankerville once again trying to step his way through. Good tackle on him by Ollie Norris. Currently 35 metres out. And they'd love to be able to get themselves a try, and Levi Amua. Great run forward here. He's still going, Levi Amua. Find the offload. No, he decided to hang on to it, and he should have passed it perhaps. And it could have been a good option for the try now. Quinton McDonald steps back on the inside. 5 metres out here for Tasman. On the attack, it's a good run from the number 17. All flying, and there was, I believe, Urenta. Now Hicks getting closer and closer. Only a couple metres short of the line now. An attacking run. Quinton Strange scores the try. And Tasman are now back in this one. And it was Quinton Strange who was able to score it. He puts up the shark fin for the Tasman Marcos. And now at this stage, they are right back in this game. They will be able to convert as well. Quinton Strange, 66 minutes in the second half. I will say it's gone a lot slower than the first half did. and every moment will be crucial. Yes, Hamish, thank you for the stream as well, says Katie Dixon. Also, Waikato can't handle a Mua as well. Fins up, let's go in the chat from it was Lashin, but that was a brilliant run from Levi Mua. If he had found that offload on the inside, I know that he was well and truly shouting for it there, the number 9. But Chapman wasn't quite able to link up. But then from there, they just kept on going. Good attacking run there from Quinton Strange. Puts the ball down, and that is the try for Tasman. And now Mitch Hunt gets that conversion. 20-20 is going to be the scoreline in this one. Try Marco says Sebastian. Is this the grand final? It is indeed of the Premiership. Earlier on, we saw for the Championship that Taranaki were able to get the win over Otago. Now it is the opportunity for Tasman to try and make it 3 in a row for them. But well done from Quinton Strange to put that ball down over the line. The finale will be dramatic as well, says Sebastian. And Marco come back and win, says Lafili in the chat. It is certainly an option for them. And now being 20-20, I think that Waikato are going to get themselves a penalty at some stage. I've just got that feeling, and they will take the 3 and maybe take the lead back. But Liam Messam now made his way out onto the field here for Waikato. And he will be one of those players. He's got plenty of experience in the later stages. Could be absolutely crucial for the Moolers. It's going to be taken nicely. Well taken by Hugh Renton, because he did look like he was possibly not lining it up that great in the early stages. Chapman now goes back to Mitch Hunt, putting up the high ball. Trying to line it up here, I believe it is Tawatawa. No, I know. Instead, Coombs Fabling drops it backwards. Levi Moore putting pressure there on Gideon Rappling. Straight on the ball as well for Chapman. No, the ball's bounced out the back. Ollie Norris now passes it off to Misa. Trying to step on the inside. Nice tackle there from the Tasman replacement tie prop. Fletcher Smith wide, cut out pass there out to Liam Messam. Going to be hit hard by Lester Whainānuku, trying to wrestle him down to the ground. And at the stage now, Tasman just on the halfway line, having to defend up against Waikato, who have scored themselves 2 tries so far, but they have both been off interceptions. That's going to be stolen, though, for Tasman now, and Levi Moore once again going to be taking the contact. Chapman now trying to decide where to go. It looks like he will be going to the right-hand side. Passes it off now to the big replacement number 1 for this one. Straight on the ball, and it's a penalty. Oh, it's a penalty to Waikato, and I believe at this stage that advantage didn't last very long at all for Tasman, and because of it, Ollie Norris able to win himself that one. What's up, bro, as well, says Pila, and also the Tasman Sharks in the chat as well. I'm doing very well, mate. We've got so much rugby on today. My voice is not going to be able to handle it, but my brain hopefully will. It is going to be very exciting. It will be lit as well. England versus Springboks and Romania versus Tonga are at the same time. And although I want to watch my boys, this is still the World Cup final rematch as well, says Sebastian. And the finale will be dramatic. And the good thing is, with all of these games happening, we are going to be saying the scores of the other matches as they are happening. And I believe that game between Romania and also Tonga, is it taking place on the World Rugby website? I'm not too sure whether or not they are showing that one. I know that they are showing Georgia versus Fiji, which is also on at that same time. And that is going to be on the YouTube channel for World Rugby, which is pretty awesome to see that they are doing a few of these more, I guess, less popular games, but still have a very big audience. Dan 2020 come on Waikato as well. Says Cam Fresh almost stolen there in the lineup for the Marcos, but now Cortez Ratama. He's got this one 45 meters out here for Waikato, getting in Rappling, short ball into the hands of Lamb. A stage possession for Waikato will be very important. They haven't had too much of it in the last kind of 10 minutes or so, but if they can put phase after phase together here, it's going to be James Tucker tries to offload it back. It went backwards and it's still available here. Ollie Norris trying to get it almost stolen there from Jacob Norris. Once again, Rappling driving his way. Oh, he's broken through a tackle. And Anton Segner straight on the ball gets the turnover. No, it's a penalty though to Waikato. They say that he did touch the ground first before it as well. Romania 60, Tonga 60. Romania now as well. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that one as well. We have got the good morning, Amish, from Audley, England as well. Big day ahead. We'll be tuning in later. Pace yourself as well, says Darren Smith. Yeah, huge matches coming up. England versus South Africa. We're also going to be covering Scotland versus Japan, as that one should be an interesting one. Fiji are playing Georgia. We won't be able to cover that one, but we will be talking all about the result of that one. Wales versus Australia and New Zealand versus France, all back to back to back. And also, let's go Romania as well, says David. And also, are you joking, mate, as well, says Sebastian there. And basically, if it's a draw after extra time, Waikato win, yeah, that is the case. Now, Fletcher Smith, he will be taking on the 3 points for the penalty. 9 minutes left in this game. Put Romania in my, morning coverage. They're only 1 point, 1 place difference in the rugby rankings, Hamish Spencer. So I feel like maybe you're underestimating the Romanians a little bit there. And now at this stage, Fletcher Smith lining this one up. very calm, cool, calm, and collected. I remember that game that he did have a match-winning kick, but he wasn't quite able to nail it up against Canterbury. Is this one going to be his match-winning moment for Fletcher Smith here? Only 8.5 minutes left. He struck it well. He struck it very nicely, and that one's gone over. Waikato now take the lead, and it is going to be 23 points to Waikato and 20 to Tasman now. So they have been able to get themselves a 3-point lead. 8 minutes left. How's your prediction going to predict, or go for predicting All Black squad as well? Says it Nathan Sim. I believe at this stage, I think Rugby Itch was able to get it. So that means now we are 3-3 at the end of the series, which is pretty awesome to see. Cortez Ratama now off the field, and that is going to be now Teita Rotahuriarangi. A little bit of a juggle there from Coombs Fabling. Been able to kick it way downfield, though. It's kicked out on the full. It's taken back, and now Tasman just outside of the 22 will once again have the option of the scrum fit, but they are showing Teita Rotahuriarangi playing for Waikato here. He was actually playing for Bay of Plenty a little while ago, I believe, but now he is going to be there for Waikato. We have got the yes there. Keep the lead, Waikato as well. There from, it was KM Fresh Gaming. But at this stage, it is going to be Quinton McDonald. We'll get the option, or it was almost stolen there at the line out time. Now it's going to be Lester Whainanuku with the step into the hands of Mitch Hunt now. They are only sitting around 25 metres out, straight out in front here. 7 minutes left in this game as well. And I'll admit that Tonga could easily win this game, but they won't run away with it. Not on the Romanian home ground anywhere as well. Says Sebastian. It's going to be a good bit of work there from Ollie Norris. He's been able to get the turnover, not quite. He is very lethal in the breakdowns when he does get the chance. Mitch Hunt, wide cut out pass there. Gives it off to Nankerville. He's got the man with him. Oh, it's a terrible pass there to Whainanuku. And now it's going to be Coombs Fabling. Was that a shoulder charge from Levi Amua? They might look back at that one a little bit later on, but now New Stuff's going to be kicking that one back downfield. A little bit of nothing on that kick. And now Coombs Fabling passes it back across to Balin Sullivan. Looks like he is just going to be kicking it back. And once again, it's going to be a nothing kick from Waikato. So at this stage, both sides just giving the ball back to each other. Mitch Hunt now with an attacking run just inside of the half now for Tasman. Chapman fires it back. Good hands there from Quinton McDonald. It was low, close to the ground, but he was able to take it. Chapman fires it back now on the right-hand side. Going to be Hugh Renton charging forward. This one's still kickable for Waikato if they can win themselves the penalty advantage. Hi, cheers, mate. Appreciate the commentary as well, says Eliza. Thank you very much. I'm joking. Just getting under your skin as well, says Amish. And also just a minute as well there. That one's going to be a knock-on now. And now it will be once again offloaded nicely. George Dyer now with the attacking run here. 6 minutes left in this game of the Premiership Final. Only 3 points difference between these two sides. Could end up still going either way. Good attack from the breakdown there. Trying to get it back there for Tasman. Kicked high from Teita Rotahuriarangi. He's gone extremely high. Taken almost by Coombs Fabling. Goes straight through his hands. Then a second go at it. Bounce it back. Ollie Norris. Great hands there from him. And it is still going to be available for Waikato. Triple T. Pass it back across Liam Messam now. Wide cut out pass. Beautifully done there. And it is going to be now on the outside. Cutting nicely on the inside. It is Gideon Rappling getting closer and closer to being able to win this game here. Waikato still available for them. Teita Rotahuriarangi, great run. Summer Penny Final celebrates, and Waikato have won this match now surely at this stage. Summer Penny Final has been able to score. They are going to be checking this one just to make sure. We have got that in the newspapers this morning in England. They say that South African view England as being weak. Is that an accurate view or simply hype as well, says Darren Smith? I think for this battle between between England and South Africa, the media are loving it because they can pretty much take any little bit of information and make it a big story, and people will look at that story. So I think it is just the case of both sides' media really trying to hype this game up in terms of any little thing that has been said. They will make a big story out of it, but I think at the end of the day, the game will do the talking, and that is only going to be less than 8 hours away. We have got there. I hope Waikato lose after that as well, says Hamish Spencer, and also we have got there. I won't be offended by your prediction. Anyone can say whatever they want as well, says Sebastian there, and yes, let's go Waikato. Is it a knock on here for Coombs Fabling? If it touches his hands, oh, did it go through the hands or did it touch it? Hamish loves Ellie loves your voice from your favorite person, Violet, as well. Says Ellie there. Also, it was there. It wasn't a prediction. I was joking as well. Says it was a knock on from Coombs Fabling. This is a huge decision here because if it is a try, Waikato will go on to win this game from here. But it's going to be interesting, like they're saying it is tight. Huge decision here. It's a no try. It's a no try. The crowd, they are not happy, as they probably wouldn't be in that situation, because now that means that Waikato have not quite won this game yet. There is still going to be another 4 minutes left in this game. Come on as well, says Cam Fresh. And also, yeah, I know. Do you have a prediction, though? Just curious as well. Says Sebastian there, and also LMAO in the chat from Spencer. Coombs Fabling just getting a little tiny touch on it. That was the difference. And also sad, says Cam Fresh, yeah. Although Waikato, luckily for them, they have still got that 3-point lead. Here we go as well, says Katie Dixon. But now 40 metres out, Tasman have got the scrum feed. What will this do to the result of this match? Hey, Amish Jaya as well. Says that Jaya's welcome into the live stream once again. We have got there to Fiji and Rotorua. Still have a chance to win as well, says BK Sport. Depends on what way you're looking at it. Tasman have Chirika DeVito, who did sign for Fiji and Rotorua. So I'm sure that's what you're meaning in that regard. And yes, they do. That was gone right down in the front row. Waikato win the penalty now. This one is a kickable 3, but that will give them a 6-point lead. 22-18. Tonga, I don't know, maybe Romania as well. Says Hamish Spencer. And told you their Premiership Final drama and stupid celebration. Says Hamish Spencer there. What do? They're kicking for the corner. I've decided that the 6 points isn't quite enough. Try as well. Says Louis there in the chat. And Fletcher Smith now going to be going for the touchline. This is strategic from Waikato because they feel that the 3 points, maybe if Tasman get that one, they would be able to, it's just 6 points wouldn't quite be enough for them. Now it will be 20 or so meters out, and Waikato have got the opportunity to try and get this one and close it out. Macca Springer making his way out onto the field. Also Chapman getting replaced, I should say. And also we have got the good morning from Wales and Yippee as well. No for the try as well, says Louis and Yippee in the chat there. But now it is going to be Stephen Messer will have this opportunity at line-out time for Waikato. This one needs to be straight, as last line-out throw that he did do was not straight, and it did cost them the ball. This one from Stephen Messer, there is a lot of pressure on this throw. Has he got what it takes to be able to get this one right for a side? Lining up there, Stephen Messer. He's got that one right. Jack Lamb takes it nicely, and now 2.5 minutes left here for Waikato. The rolling maul is not going forward. They have been told to use it once now. 20 metres out. Te Taroa Tahuri Orangi. He's got this ball available now. Straight through the middle there. A lot of pressure from Urenta, but now stepping nicely on the inside, getting him rampling. Dragged down, but Waikato still have this ball. Liam Messam trying to break out of the tackle. Alex Nankabell straight on it. Not able to get it though. He's saying that it is available now for Te Taroa Tahuri Orangi. Dropping now. 2 minutes left in this game. Go Hamish as well, says Jai there in the chat. 2006, the last time that they were able to win the Bunnings NPC here for Waikato. Stephen Messer now just trying to close it out here, just phase after phase after phase. They have been told not to use it for Tasman. They're trying to get that ball back, but it doesn't seem like it's quite happening for them. Was that a juggle? They've been able to just hang on to it there. Waikato still just phase after phase after phase. Tasman, if they do get this ball, they will have to go a long way up the field, about 85 metres. Still available here for Waikato. Ball still available. Good counter ruck there from it was round the side now. Ollie Norris not getting the carry. It's a penalty to Waikato. Right. They've got 90 seconds left, and they've got the opportunity at possibly getting the 3-pointer, unless they go for the corner. We will have to wait and see. Love the commentary, Hamish, as well as this game fresh. And also, why didn't do live commentary for the Black Cats versus C20. I was waiting for you. So disappointed as well, says Coding. So pretty much that one, it was after being awake for about 32 hours straight. So I decided just to watch it rather than doing the commentary. The big fella can't do every game, buddy, as well, says Hamish Spencer. And also, by the way, Ellie, I love you as well, says it was Jaya there in the chat. Come on, Tasman in the chat. And also go Waikato for sure. Sean Wainui says Louis, and also putting the icing on the cake. Yeah, they've kicked it for the corner once again. 30 seconds left. And have to wait and see how it does go. We have got there, by the way, Ellie loves you as well, from Ellie Hills. And the chat, although I assume it is not Ellie, possibly. If you love your rugby, don't forget to check out the Rugby Down on the podcast with the Kiwi lads and the BKR Sport, or BKR Sport, not the in front of it. I don't think he's got a the yet, but Jack Lamb going to be making his way off the field now for Waikato. 3 points difference, 30 seconds left in this game for the Premiership. If they can win this one from here, Waikato, they will be very happy with that indeed. Beating Canterbury in the semi-final now. Stephen Messer, once again, important line-out throw, has been able to get it right. And now at this stage, it was claimed by Tamani. looking for the rolling maul. We'll just be hoping to hold on to this one for another 20 seconds or so. Stephen Messer now offloads it back to Rotorua, ringing off to Rappling. Good tackle there from Tasman on the ball as well. No, not quite able to get it. 10 seconds left now. Just looking to close out this game. 10 meters from the line. And at this stage, all they have to do is one more face to Marnie around the side. Getting closer and closer. Straight on the ball though. Alex Nagavell loses his footing. And now because of it, they are not counter-rucking. Around the side. Once again here for Tasman. They need to throw everyone into this maul now. The final siren has not gone yet. One more phase by the looks of it. And now Tasman trying to get on the ball. Has he been able to get it? No, not quite. And still waiting for the final whistle. We've got one more phase here by the looks of it. Tasman trying to get that ball back. That's a penalty to Tasman for the player flopping over the top. It's not over yet. By the looks of it, you've also got their Hamish fan club rides there, dead as well. There's Katie Dixon there in your jacket as well. Says Hamish Spencer. And another Black Cat series loss. But why big names fail once again in India as well, says Coding. And yeah, I guess the one yesterday, they just didn't put enough runs on the board. 153 is never going to win you it in India as well. It's rugby. Shut up about the cricket as well, says Patrick there. This is living nuts. Yo, it's us, says Katie. And also we'll get there. And the chat, go on Waikato, they deserve it as well. That is the final siren. We can hear it now. You got to be kidding me, says KM Fresh. At this stage now, one last chance for Tasman. 40 metres out from their own line. They've got 60 to go if they want to somehow make a comeback win. But 3 points is the difference between these two sides at this stage. So it does mean that Waikato have still got the opportunity to be able to win this one if they can get it here. Quinton McDonald goes to the front. And now it is going to be the rolling maul opening up here for Tasman. I see that this is finished, so I'm assuming that maybe this ball doesn't come out of this rolling maul. It is going to be Waikato just jumping all over it, trying to offload it back. There's no halfback. It's another advantage here for them. He's coming around the side, so there's going to be the penalty advantage. Good rolling maul here for Tasman. I don't know whether or not this game is finished yet. It's going to be Mitch Hunt looking for the cross kick, going for anything. And now at this stage, taken by Tongia. And it is going to be going back now for the penalty, because of the fact that they did have the advantage. We have got, there you go, Tasman says there. And also, if it's a draw, who wins? Says Osayan. So pretty much if it ends in a draw, it does mean that it goes to golden point as well. Rookie mistake, looking at score on stream whilst game is on as well, says Rugby Down Under podcast. And also we have got, there you go, Waikato as well. And Waikato should have gone for the penalty kick as well, says David. And also we have got there as well, advantage no way as well, says Hamish Spencer. Although the thing is, with that, they are normally only about 20 seconds ahead. So I think that they might have gotten it wrong flash score, which isn't really too much of a surprise because this game is still going between these two sides. But Mitch Hunt now going to be looking for the touchline, trying to get it as far downfield as he possibly can. And that one has gone into touch. And now at this stage, it will once again be the Tasman line out that they have got themselves. And also we have got the advantage in a way as well. And is that the spell of a golden point as mighty Tasman? And their flash score picks the most hilarious moments to actually work as well, says Katie Dixon. Yeah, I feel like if I actually update this one more time, it will show that it is back into the 80 plus minutes, but I'm not going to do it just in case. Now at this stage, Quinton McDonald goes to the back. It's not taken cleanly, and now Ollie Norris takes it. And now this time, Mitch Jacobson kicks it for the touchline, and they win the game. Waikato, 3 points is the difference there between the two sides. And the Mooloos, for the first time since 2006 or 5, I believe it was, they have been able to win the Bunnings NPC Premiership in the end, 23 points to 20 as well. We have got there Tasman go well today as well, says T. And also GG, yes, as well, says Game Fresh, good game, and let's go Tasman in there. And also we have got there BS Tasman, and also Hamish, someone wants to go on a date with you. It does, says Katie Dixon. By the sounds of it, it does, doesn't it? For Ellie. Also we have got there, let's go Waikato, says Game Fresh Gaming. At the stage, Tasman, they are gutted, but Waikato, they deserved it. They have done extremely well throughout this game. They were able to really work hard for those mistakes that Tasman allowed them. Tasman should have won, says Nathan Simpson. Also, Waikato are the Premiership 2021 winners, and also so glad for Michael Hooper that he won his game for Waikato as well. Says Rugby Down on the podcast there, and Lowell says KM Fresh there, but they are excited at the moment. Tongia, he is fired up for a side. Anton Segner looks a little bit disappointed. Also, we have got their GG, both teams from Katie Dixon. D'Angelo Leula, I think he is just kind of soaking in the moment for them, because at this stage, they weren't even at home for this game, really. It was in Rotorua because of the fact that FMG Stadium, they weren't able to play it there for this game. So for them to be able to get the win here is just absolutely awesome for them. Let's go, boys. Tough fought battle as well, says it Falcon, and also GG, both teams from Katie Dixon. But nonetheless, 23 points to Waikato, 20 to Tasman. 2 tries for Balin Sullivan off 2 interceptions for him as well. Regan Ware in the 27th. Quinton Strange also able to get himself the try in the 66, which looked like they were getting right back into it. Only 5 metres out from the line in the 80th minute. Tasman were able to get themselves the penalty. Tried to go right up the field, but it was a loose throw in the end from the man in his 100th match, Quinton McDonald, which did lead to Waikato getting the ball back, and Mitch Jacobson kicked it out as well. Great game Waikato and Tasman played, mighty too, as well, says Louis. And also we have got there, thanks for the stream, Hamish. Says Katie, and we have got plenty more coming today, that is for sure. So the first game we are going to be covering is at 2 a.m, Scotland versus Japan. We will be talking about that game and also all of the games coming up soon for those fixtures. It is going to be England versus South Africa after that, then Wales versus Australia, followed by the final match of the night, and that is going to be France taking on the All Blacks. Should be very exciting. Yes, what a perfect moment as well. And honestly, I'm happy for Nov Mum, who went there to witness her team win the trophy as well. Yeah, it is going to be pretty awesome to see how it does go. Great game, Waikato, and also good call, Hamish. 1 down, as says David. Yeah, we got plenty more to go. That is Hamish Elliott loves you as well. Says that guy there. Yes, what a perfect moment. Says Katie Dixon. And nonetheless, I guess with that being said, anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe, because we are going to be back, like I mentioned, with plenty more games of rugby tonight. And it's very early on in the night, but we got plenty more coming up. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.